right. Take two of the 2025 preseason preview of the big league. Welcome, JR. I've got you unmuted this time, hopefully on all our pages.
Yeah. No,
Rough start.
I mean, we had a nice start to the last one, though. I was feeling
We were flowing.
5 years. I said nice things about Daryl's team.
Yep. It's true.
Hopefully we can replicate this.
Yeah. Let's run it back. So, the way we started it last time, the way we'll start it this time is talking about how we ended last year. And congratulations to the Chiles Picantes. Pull up that real quick. And get a quick mic test again from you, JR. Just make sure we're...
Yeah, testing one,
There we
two.
go. All right, we're looking good. Cool. So, San Antonio had a pretty magical run, winning a couple game sevens, couple ninth inning rallies, and then taking care of Jay and the Dynamite pretty handily in the big league championship series to end a 2.5-year dynasty. Although Jay still has a pretty competitive team, that might still be a dynasty if he can run it back this year, but we'll see. But any thoughts on how last year ended? Here's your chance to talk nice to...
Yeah, well, San Antonio was scoring runs all postseason. They just did not stop, and it wasn't too much of a surprise. I mean, they have a lot of talent, and the GM stacks high-end PBL talent, which is, that's the name of the game, right?
Yep. You mentioned in Iteration 1 of our podcast that he's not afraid to throw out a big contract.
Exactly. So Gagliardi, we mentioned.
$30 million this year.
I mean, he's a force now. He's up there. He's right there with Huron as far as the top teams in that conference. Huron is, head and shoulders as far as their history. The Chile Picantes are sneaking up.
14 playoff appearances here. Looking at the history, 7 of the last 8 years have been in the postseason. And when they missed, they were still an above 500 team. And they look to be good again this year. Again, it was mentioned somewhere in chat that they had more money in free agency heading into 2025 than any other team, even though they just won the championship. So they may have had some big turnover this year, but a lot of flushing cash here. So
there's a bull market somewhere, and the 1 year big money deals is working. It's working, and there's not many teams doing it. So hats off to Daryl for that.
He did sign Gagliardi, like you mentioned, for $30 million this year. Kind of risky. Gagliardi is fragile, I think. That was kind of why I think most people were avoiding these players. But I mean, he's produced every year. He's in one of the prime positions. The great defensive catchers obviously impact your whole pitching staff. So it's a good signing, especially in 1 year for a 32-year-old catcher. So no, I definitely like it.
Yeah, great signing. Fake fragile is what I like to call these guys. Every single one of his injuries.
Yeah, that's true.
3 years.
This isn't a bad history at all. This is why I didn't want to turn injury proneness on.
Yeah, it's a bad. And you see it in your
media
training reports where it gives you some bullshit thing at the end where the guy went from kind of fragile to closer to durable, but not
I would say if you look through free agents though, you see fragile and you may not give this guy consideration. Where he missed 2 weeks last year. That's not bad. And he hasn't ever had a real serious injury or not for years. So
how fragile is the guy?
That's a good point.
So I don't know. Great signing.
Signing. We talked about his signing last year, and it was probably the signing of the offseason. At least that's what I'm calling it. But it's Suto Kuroiwa was a monster for him last year. Stole 96 bases, put up a ton of WAR, and then was calling his name all the time in the postseason. He's not really an outfielder. He's kind of a defensive liability, but this is an example of Daryl's style. He goes after these international players that come in with no history. He's done it with a few big guys here, and we just talked about in the first iteration again, Antonio Alvarez. This guy has no history. He didn't mind giving him a 5-year contract here if we look at the contracts page. But otherwise, Daryl's in really good shape financially.
Um, I don't know how he got this guy Matt Lamb, but it starts with pitching. You know, a couple big starters, good starters.
Yep. 24 million. That's a pretty good
And
contract, you know,
yeah.
for
So yeah, this guy Matt Lamb somehow got
hit that
I
5
think
years.
free agency.
Yep. Bighorn didn't want to pay
from
him.
the Rams, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
From a division rival. That's a pretty big steal right there from Johnny.
Yep.
Those two guys have been finishing 1-2 the last few years a lot, so
Exactly.
he's only
But
26.
yeah, big money. 2 years, 50 million about. So
Yep. Another signing. Again, we're looking at a completely different team this year over from the Vandals, another division rival. David Artola coming in. And
yeah,
also on a 1-year contract. So Daryl's not committing to any of these guys. He's just building pieces to make a competitive team with, low commitment additions.
yeah, no, that's it.
Oh.
He's a problem.
You got Matt
He's
Cruiser
got a
for
big
me. This guy was a
prospect
beast
coming
last
up,
year.
too. You know, big prospect.
Who's that?
Jose Marulanda.
Jose Marulanda. All right, let's take a look
Yeah.
here. He's close. Marulanda, 55/80. Yeah, looks good. Plays defensively pretty well. He's got a good offensive powers. Yeah, this guy can be a beast soon. He's never played
Yeah.
above A+. Do you think we're going to see him early, or do you think he's going to be in AAA?
Well, I think I'm not gonna. Well, listen, this guy hit. He killed every level.
He's on the roster.
See, these are the guys that, you know, yeah. I'd be aggressive with a guy who hits. Has a 1300 OPS.
Yep.
In A ball.
Yep. So you
And,
lean hard on those stats. If they're really performing, you're not afraid. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what this guy did in spring training, but let's see. You know, in a modest spring training, I mean,
If you look at our league,
got to be fighting for a spot eventually. I mean, he needs. I'm a big seasoning guy. You know, I'd season him, but you know, there's nothing saying that this guy can't just be a instant problem. Second half of this year, next year, easily.
yeah. You tell me if you had to give a guess to the oldest team in the TBL and what that average age would be, what do you think it is? You don't have to guess the team, but what do you think the average age is?
28.
28 is right. Yeah, maybe you've looked at those numbers or not. Maybe that's a good guess.
Yeah, I've looked at those every once in a while. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Like 23 to 28 is the average age for teams in the TBL. So, I mean, we obviously trend super young. And you can see San Antonio, I think his big league roster is set. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, 28 of 28. And he's got how many guys on his top 500 prospect pipeline on the roster right now? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rookies.
Yeah. And having that type of talent to fill in the blanks for minimum salary, gotta have those guys.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a problem for you guys over there, the San Antonio team. A little bit of a problem.
Hey, for sure. They're looking good. I mean, again, this is why I encourage teams to really kind of commit a few years to really investing in their system, though. Like, max out that development budget. Just build through that draft for a few years, and you can get there. Like, it's a young league. It's a young man's game.
Yeah. No, it's you can spread your money around and just have a steady pipeline internationally, free agents, draft, whatever, and put together a competitive team. And it looks pretty good in San Antonio right now. He's doing that.
Yep. Bullpen looks good. I think, this is going to be a good team. Just to look at the non-real predictions, but actually hates the Chiles Picantes, 54 and 108. I don't know what that's about. Again, that was before. Maybe he had a 60 out of 60 spring training roster, so I was doing something funky. But
Yeah.
I wish I had pulled updated predictions before this, but
Yeah, that's probably because of the rosters, as well as I don't know how many people play with their sliders in spring training.
Well, again, I mean, I'm carrying 50 guys in spring training, so whatever this is predicting, there's no way it knows like what I'm planning to do.
Yeah. I
So,
barely play guys in spring training, so I
yep.
don't.
So yeah, Daryl looks dangerous, to use some more alliteration for tonight, and
Yeah,
on to the Rams. What do you think of Johnny's team? Johnny's been a pretty good GM as well.
definitely. These are the top two teams, and it, his team's always consistent. This guy Dave Schaefer's a beast, absolute beast. Led the conference, I should say, in OPS.
Yeah, he's an up and coming big. He's actually
Yeah, like
30.
he's just
That surprises
he's just
me.
like just a good cornerstone player. Does everything well too. So I like that guy a lot.
I can't believe how long he's been in the league. I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, although he's kind of getting better with age, it looks like.
Yeah, a very good, durable guy. So I wouldn't have a problem signing this guy to another 5 years.
Durable. Love it.
On my own terms. But I wouldn't have a problem committing to a guy like this into his 30s. But yeah, that's the backbone there. He had a monster year. Good pitching. This is I think there's four big teams in this conference, and this is one of them. So love the closer.
Ryan Kelch looks like a future superstar, first round pick in 2018. I mean, he's got all the defensive bars, but he also has that unique combo of some basic hitting as well. So a prime position in shortstop.
Yeah, no, this is a good team, and looking at just the spread, every position's solid. The bullpen is sick. The bullpen's kind of sick. So yeah, listen, they won 100 and plus games each, 23 and 24, right? So this team, they should probably win 100 again. They really should probably win 100 again.
Yeah, I mean, with how weak the conference is, I think they definitely have a chance to. I don't know if they'll win 100. I think they take a step back, personally. It's just hard to. I mean, how many teams have won 100 games, 3 in a row? Let's look at like the Las Vegas. Oh, okay, that's like 8 in a row. Wow. Oh, let's not look at Las Vegas as an example, but it's hard. I mean, even Denver, they've won 3 in a row once. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's look at their contracts real quick. I like to know how flexible a GM's books are, because I can kind of tell you if they're able to shift directions real quick from where they're at, or if they're kind of locked into a path. A lot of team options. Johnny's not afraid to.
These guys are very happy to play in Bighorn. When you see guys sign contracts like the Santamaros and the Schaefers, and these guys like they're popular players. Al Shaw. These are great deals for guys like that. These are team options in 26. This is as clean as you're gonna get.
Yeah, those are good contracts. I mean, I always think that's so much for a reliever, but when it's a top-end closer, it's what it calls for, like 18, 20, 22 million with some of these guys.
Oh, I tell you what, this guy Lance Kosha is a good catcher. I spend 30 mil on Gagliardi if I'm these. See, I don't know if that's the difference, or if that's going to be the difference, but at a certain point, you owe it to the fans, you owe it to the players that are there. You're winning a ton of games. Go get that big bat, or go get that big player, or whatever, big pitcher. And I don't know, maybe that might be the only thing that I gotta kind of be critical about here.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, several GMs, and Johnny hasn't been shy on the trade deadline, but you got to kind of make that analysis when you get to that point and decide if you want to make that big move, because it's really rewarded a lot of GMs over the last few seasons. Jumping in, making that big trade. I feel like San Antonio made a deal at the deadline last year. I could be making that up just to fill my narrative, though.
I think San Antonio, Daryl's probably a maniac to bargain with. I gotta look at my DMs with him.
Oh, he's super hard to bargain with. Daryl will get pissed too if like you don't come to an agreement. He's got a little fuse, but Johnny, I've actually made some good trades with, and I usually don't like trading within the divisions, so he's pretty easy to work with. Let's look at the pipeline real quick. Again, I think his roster has been posted, so let's double check that. Nope, he actually hasn't exported yet, so we don't have a full picture here. But he's got some guys that are close, obviously, that are up on the spring training roster. Castillo here. Some mid-range.
He's got a lot of talent on the injured list. He's got a middle of the rotation.
Musgraves is definitely a big injury. 8 weeks.
Yeah, he's got a couple injuries here. That was kind of fragile. I'm not meaning you can really get out of this guy Penny. But there's players here. This guy Musgrove looks like to be a player, and Copeland. So
yeah,
going to get healthier. You know, it's a talented team.
Yep. Yeah, they'll be competitive again. Team position rankings. We didn't look at this page. I'm just gonna look at San Antonio real quick, but same kind of thing. Just top players at most positions. So those two teams, I think, will be okay. Third place, of course, the Rams did fall in the playoffs last year to the Paddlers. Just to mention that real quick.
Yeah, it's the rite of passage. When you win 100 games, you know you're going to get snapped off at some point.
Oh, not at some point in the first round. It's the Fire Conference way. Yeah. So I think the Rams were the number 1 overall seed last year. Isn't that right? Or
yeah, something like that.
102. Yeah, I think they had the best record. So, but yeah. Also, just let's take a look at this history one more time. I'm trying to think here. We'll move on real quick, but I feel like they were in the championship, in 2023? So they've been close.
Yeah.
I think it was Game 7. Nope, 2022? Yeah, 2022, Game 7. So,
man.
Johnny's been close, but just hasn't gone over that hump.
Jay just skates by. 4-3.
I think I mentioned he won like 6 series. 6 of the series in his run was like 5 or 6 were in Game 7. Yeah. So, anyways, let's keep moving. Third place, I think, last year was the San Diego Seals. Let's double check that. Meet the team. Third place, yeah. So this team's been consistently in the playoffs the last few years. What are your thoughts on?
I'm listening to this to hear if there's any shade.
Oh, I'm going to let you lead here. What are your thoughts on the Seals?
Alex is he's another guy who always wants to make the move. The team's always too talented to bottom out in a bad conference, and it's just another collection of those type of players, and that's like the way the team is built. So I'm gonna take a look at I gotta see how his team performed last year defensively and things like that. But it just seems to be like there's a deficiency there. I just don't know where it is, and I'm pretty sure it's a pretty big deficiency somewhere, because the players are good, but for some reason they're like an 83 win team. They struggle for like half the year, then they turn it on and they either sneak in, and sometimes they go on a run.
Yeah, they're definitely a hard team to predict. So if you have to remember, 2 years ago they went to the championship and played Denver, and they were going to win Game 7. They had a lead in the bottom of the 8th, and then Denver flipped the script and won the championship. So they got as close as you can possibly get to almost getting ring number 2. But you're right. No, super streaky, and their team has holes. Like, they have superstars, and then they have like big gaps. And I do want to say it's on the defensive end.
Well, I just looked at their defense last year, and they literally had like a .010 zone rating. It was
so it's like average.
Mid.
Yeah.
They're super mid. Yeah. I think that's exactly what they are. Is like just a super mid team in a conference that's not good. So mid, some people say mid, you get you high every once in a while, but it's not the best.
Yeah, yeah, for
So,
sure, for sure. I mean, well, again, with the way the fire conference works, you could always sneak in to a championship. Because I mean, if you look at they were 90 win team when they made to the championship 2 years ago. It's not like a dynasty team. Um, but if you look, they do have some high end talent that I think are like really superstars that could honestly be Hall of Famers someday. Like Craig Noftal has good defense, can hit. He's putting up crazy WAR for a young guy, like 18 WAR already. Um, so if he continues, Quinton Cook, who he mentioned might be the best Australian outside of Terrence Mason, maybe the best
and
offensive Australian. We'll see by the end of his career.
I think he's the third best. I think
At the moment,
there's a guy who played for Kingston, right?
fair enough. I
Yeah.
appreciate him starting conversation in general, chat. Let's put it that way. Um, but 20 WAR, and he's only 26 years old. So these guys have like done pretty well. I like their 2, 3, 4 hitters especially. Gary Huber's been a superstar in the league. He won MVP in 2023.
So,
But the pitching hasn't really panned out.
2024, and Huber won 23. So he's got the last two MVPs on his team.
Who's last year?
Cook won it.
Did he really? Damn, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that. Nice.
That's
That's a
what they
rare.
call it.
That's a rare MVP
I'm never
win
gonna
without
call
leading in
anything
WAR.
a fraudulent MVP, but congratulations, Quentin Cook.
I actually saw that he just beat out Matt Jacobs of the Sasquatches, so I thought that was kind of
Did he
funny.
lead the league in any category, Quentin? He didn't lead the league in a single category, and he won the MVP.
Yeah.
Which, whatever.
Again, it's the AI voting at this point too. He only played 145 games too. Like he wasn't like an
Yeah,
old man.
that's like interesting.
Yep. It just actually kind of highlights how pathetic the Fire Conference is. There's probably
The
10
AI
players
voted
better
this
than
one,
Quentin
too.
Cook in the
Alright,
Ice
that's
Conference.
very nice. All right, well, he's got the last two MVPs, but once again,
Yep.
one of the MVPs is mid.
Yep.
All
He does
right,
have
so-
he does have a
a
elite
whole lot of mid.
he does have an elite closer, but the rest of the bullpen is absolute garbage.
Yeah. Which I respect.
Yep.
I'm envious of GMs who do this, who do have that one great closer and then just don't, everybody else is just, they get lit up. Everybody else gets lit up.
I feel like the rest can be garbage if you can get like 3 like elite pieces. So
Yeah, but they can get hot too.
Yeah.
I think your team had, the pitching got hot at the right time.
oh, for sure. I couldn't name a pitcher on my squad last year. They were terrible.
Yeah, so no, I like that. I like, I envy that when that happens. But this is a team that, listen,
What do you think of this
This is a good
page, JR? What do you think of
it's a
the
good team.
What do you think of the
Yeah.
team salary page though?
The salary page looks pretty
He's committed.
interesting.
He's committed.
I don't know. See, you got to sub me on this Quentin Cook guy a little bit harder, Alex. I know he's a man in Australia, but that escalating deal up to 31.
I don't hate Cook.
29, I don't love that.
I don't hate Cook. I actually think he does lead the league in WAR last year if you move him to like left field or right field, but as
Yeah.
a center fielder, he's just not there defensively.
Yeah. A lot of money locked. Not false. I think he's legitimate fragile.
To me, it's the ages, right? Like Dragic's 32, and you've got him on 26 million for 3 more years after this. He's going to get fucked with that contract. Huber is the same way. He's got 30 million. I mean, Huber's good, but like look how big of a step back Huber took last year. And now you've got him locked up for 30 million for the next 3.
That's an interesting deal. I think he'll get another 4-year out of this guy, maybe 2 of them in those 4 years, but the other 2 are going to be horrible.
Well, this was like the ultimate foosball, like, right? He went from like a 4-WAR guy, which is great, like having a 4-WAR guy, but he went up to be the MVP, and then probably on a contract year, and then you give him the big contract, and all of a sudden he's garbage. Not garbage, but like average.
Yeah, average. He had a strained triceps or something. I mean, it seemed like he lost a lot of that year, and at age 30. You don't want to see that type of thing happening, but the guy's everything to the franchise, though. If you look at it, captain,
True.
everything.
Yes.
on his, his
extremely popular, which by the way makes you money,
yeah.
which increases your budget.
So I would have strung him along a little bit with his contract. Give him try to shorten the years up, maybe put an option of some sort there.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely something he could utilize more. You see some teams with the team options at the end, but he's giving them straight contracts.
But
and if you remember, any player option turns into a regular year.
No,
so
I
this
love
might
that rule.
these might have been player options.
We're not gonna get into. Maybe we should. The player option being automatically
applied
and accepted.
Yeah, not a fan.
I love that.
Oh, you
Thank
do?
you for doing that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
These guys think they're signing like years that they can void because they're going to outperform the deal, and they have no idea.
I need to do a little better of letting new GMs know about that rule. I feel like, but
that is very important. That's the good part about these podcasts is that we do take time here to talk about the financials, but there's a lot of GMs who don't know about the financials of the league, and I think that we could do a better job of.
Yeah, if I had like a 10-point quick sheet of like niche things you need to know about the league, that would be on it. And I would love to create like a sheet like that, like just like a poster board kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
You ever play like a board game and it has that one card that explains like all the rules on it, like that kind of thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, I hate the Seals contracts. We're spending too much time on his team. Let's take a look at the pipeline real quick. It's pretty shallow, and that kind of makes sense. Actually, this surprised me when you were kind of talking about them at the intro, just looking at their history. This is the longest they've made the playoffs in a row. They've made 6 straight seasons, which thinking about how good they were early is just kind of a funny stat. And they did sneak in with a 79-win team, but, hey, it counts. But you're right. Never been top tier. Second, third.
The people of San Diego. That's a perfect city to have a team just fall by 22 losses and still make the playoffs. Like that's just a San Diego team. It's a good. I like that for that city. This franchise for that city. Those type of players, those type of contracts. It's a San Diego franchise, just through and through. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, talking about history, we talked about, obviously this team, history-wise, under 500. They've had some really shitty teams. But in terms of playoff appearances, San Antonio was at 14 with a championship. They're at 13 with a championship. They've been a pretty good dynasty overall in 25 seasons, making the playoffs over half the time.
Yeah. Like 87, 79, 87, 84, 85. That's special. That's special in that conference. Just to be that, once again, mid.
You gotta play up to your opponent. All right, let's take a look at 4th place, which I think that was me. Let's take a look at the Paddlers. Meet the team. 4th place last year, 83 and 79. You want to talk about a mid team? I am a team that has been trending in the wrong direction for a while now. I really should break it all down and sell some of these pieces. But
commercial. Make this your commercial. Let's sell some pieces. I want to see Bobby Ola out of Oahu.
I was a couple outs away from being Denver's opponent in the championship last year, so I don't know. I until this season falls apart, I'm in it.
So I can't get Bobby Ola.
Not yet. I mean, he might be there. Right. He might be there at the deadline, but he's close to being that. This would be the season to move him because he's close to getting those 10-5 rates. He's 8 years in the league, almost 9 years. Esparza's not going anywhere for that same reason. He doesn't even want to be traded. He loves Oahu. I mean, every guy who plays for me fucking loves Oahu. Why wouldn't they? But really hard to move him sometimes.
Well, yeah, it's you do spend money on retaining top talent. Who is that center fielder that you have?
I'm a loyal guy. I'm loyal to my talent.
Yeah, you got a great center fielder, one of the great center fielders in league history. Yes. Was it Blackburn, I think his name was?
Steve Magana was my center fielder for a long time recently, and he put up good numbers. He's going to be fringe Hall of Fame, but you're right. Early on, I should know my Hall of Famer's name, but I think it is Blackburn. Yeah.
Great job. the owner of Oahu that does not know.
Oh, it's been a while, right? It's not Blackburn. Oh, it's Blackwell. It's Blackwell. I'm sorry.
Blackwell.
Yeah.
See, when you hear those stories about how owners like
Ben
just
Blackwell.
forget about superstars when they come back to their stadiums and stuff, it can happen.
Candidly, I mean, I think Blackwell's. I don't understand how Blackwell made first ballot Hall of Fame. And we'll get into the Hall of Fame another day. Like, I feel like there's so many guys that are deserving that aren't making it, but yeah, Blackwell was good. This was my guy too. 50 WAR, Magana. He was my center fielder for the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
But we're getting into history here. Looking at this year's team.
That's part of. Hey, this is the 25th year of the TBL. We should talk history, and it's also the same like league year of the year that we are living in.
I know, it's pretty freaky.
Present day.
Yeah. Well, at least for 4 days, but
yeah.
And then next year we can say the same thing on the next podcast.
Yeah, we got exactly.
But yeah, I know you like Bobby Ola. Let's take a look. He's got some pretty sexy bars. He's kind of taking a step back defensively. And honestly, he regressed big time last year. So I'm a little worried. I don't know if it was just a 1-year step back or if he's going to, just kind of dive here as he's hit 32 years old,
I could see him being a piece of like a lineup in what do you call it? Rochester. One of those teams that like I could see him being like in the end of his career, just being one of those guys. But right now he's in Oahu. He's doing his thing. I'm trying to free you, Bobby. I'm trying to get you out.
He's still got value. He's still stealing a ton of bases. He got caught quite a bit last year, but that was really early in like April, May. He had a really bad percentage. But do you think he's a Hall of Famer? He's only at 41 WAR. I mean, obviously his career's not done yet. He's got a lot of red paint.
A really lot of it's at bats or plate appearances.
True, at bats, plate appearances. I mean, runs, walks, steals,
runs,
on base percentage. Those are all legit.
Nah, they're legit. He's in the fast lane. Let's put it that way. He needs to have one. For me, I'd say like one more big year, bold ink, runs, stolen bases, whatever, and that'll seal it for me. But he's on the edge,
He's barely top 50 in runs career.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I like outliers. I think when we talk about Hall of Fame in the chat, Steve is a warmonger. Okay, this guy he just loves war. All right, I like guys who dominate postseasons. Fill roles, best at certain roles. Bobby Ola is one of the best leadoff players in this league's history. So he'd get the votes. He just needs one more big year from me.
Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna call you out here because David Ramirez got dropped off of the ballot this year for Hall of Fame.
I voted for David Ramirez a lot.
Did not get one vote. This man has 5 postseason MVPs.
Gotta send a message out there.
But he's got no paint. He's got no paint.
We gotta start tightening up the Hall of Fame a little bit.
I agree. Yeah, I almost want to. So actually, this is an idea, and we're on the podcast. People hopefully will hear this, but I'll put in proposals too. But you know how we used to do basically attendance, how many exports you get a year, 13, you get a bonus.
Yeah.
I just want to make it like vote for the Hall of Fame, you get a $5 million bonus. Just like fucking participate for fuck's sake, and you can have some extra money, which I hate to do because people could just submit an empty ballot. So it's kind of tricky.
If you did both the player awards, GM of the year, and Hall of Fame, and if you participate in both of those, you get to $5 million. I think that's worth it.
The player awards is tricky though. I don't know. I've put that on manual for a few years now because that was just like such low participation. I like the GM of the year vote because it just goes into the history of the league. But the Hall of Fame, like I really feel like it just speaks towards like what we were talking about tonight, the 25 years and whatever, and just like it really helps enrich the league if people participate in that. Even if they're like new GMs, just like look at the fucking numbers and make a decision. You don't have to know that that well, and then hopefully you're going to be here for 5 or 10 more years, and you'll be able to put your own guy in the Hall of Fame someday and give a fuck about it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So
Preach.
it's important to take a look at the little pieces of history. It tells you a lot about your own team too when you take one over. Then we'll get into Durham downer,
Yeah.
in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
We'll get into Durham soon.
Yep. We'll get to St. Louis
these
sooner. We'll talk Kevin up on his new team. So
Yeah, it's important to know the DNA of your team,
for sure.
fabric of your team.
Yeah. I do want to talk about Edigio Marinelli. This guy doesn't get enough credit. I honestly thought he was kind of a fringe piece. I mean, he hasn't been amazing, but he's been good. I feel like he devved up a little bit. Yeah, he did. So maybe he's gonna have a really nice year here. I don't know. Just super consistent, durable. I know that's always
Yeah.
a nice stat. I know he's just a first baseman, DH, but whatever.
Well, it's a guy who's a professional hitter. A lot of hits, a lot of singles. He's bat to ball. He'll give you a home run, every once in a while.
Yeah.
And he can build lineups with guys like this.
Yep, for sure. He's going to be there. He's got some nice awards too, right? He's got 4 platinum sticks now. So he's just been quietly good. And then, just to round out my team here, Kobe Longworth is kind of the weak link, but it's just there for the defense. Just trying to keep my pitching staff in place. And I honestly want to credit, like I was selling at the trade deadline last year. And I brought in Alex Gardner in this trade with Bighorn, where I sent off, I think, my closer, who sucked. And this defense, like, literally is what changed my team. I went from, like, a guy who, like, was a liability in center field to this guy playing decent center field, and I feel like that's what got me in the playoff. So Alex Gardner is the reason the Paddlers made the playoffs last year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my assessment.
Alex Gardner he looks like a good player. Legit range.
Maybe.
He can cover the ground. He hits line drives, doesn't strike out.
He was a throw-in on the steal, so like I'm super happy with it.
That's a good player. The kid at shortstop, and listen, there's a team in your
Colby.
We'll get to Larry's team in Mexico City soon.
Yeah. No, he's
shortstop is a pitcher's spot in your lineup.
Yeah, this is an offensive liability for sure.
I don't know how you could have a pitcher's spot.
The goal this year is this right here: sacrifice bunt and bunt hit, right? And this should actually be higher. But he's good at that. So I'm just hoping every time he gets up, there's a guy in second or third with one out.
So he led the league in Carolina with 13 sacrifices.
There we go.
In 23. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He led the TBL with 17 in 23.
Nice.
And somebody beat him out last year. So you got to do a better job of getting those sack bunts down.
Well, I just turned the sliders up, so we're good now. So... but yeah, and the last thing I'll say about my team, I signed a bunch of free agents, like literally in spring training. I like really waited to the end because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I brought in John Johnston from Tampa. I brought in Sean Hall from Las Vegas, and I brought in a pitcher. I'm going to forget which one though. Doesn't matter. Maybe Hurlburt? Yeah, Hurlburt, I think.
Is Johnston DHing?
Johnston right now is playing right field, and he could probably play center.
You're gonna put I don't know how wrecked he is.
Oh, but... wrecked. Oh, thank you. The injury history.
Everybody's pissed now.
He wasn't too bad last year, but yeah, no, he gets hurt pretty often. So I'll watch that. He's playing right field, and I'll have to put his.
He doesn't get destroyed. These little dicks.
I didn't pay much for him. That was the key. $8 million. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good signing.
Yep. So hopefully it works out. It's a lot of time on a bad team. We'll look at the prospect pipeline real quick because I do have a really sexy piece coming up. Pablo Pena. He is the number 5 prospect in the TBL, and he will be on the roster this year. He really doesn't have a lot of minor league history because he did have a really bad injury for 11 months. But 4 really nice pitches. Control's not there yet.
Yeah. This guy looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean the stamina,
Now
the hold runners isn't there. He might be a little fringe
yeah,
there. So
that was the thing. So he's let me see how many innings he's thrown. How many innings has he thrown in the pros?
I mean he's really pretty underwhelming. He hasn't thrown any of the pros. He'd be fresh. So he's
I
gonna
mean, in just pro base, but in the minors too.
Yeah.
So he's never been over 37 innings.
Yeah. So I mean honestly, I think I'm gonna be starting him out of the bullpen.
Yeah. Yeah, he's sick.
Yep.
He is sick.
Anyways, on to the next team. Obviously, I made it to Game 7 of the championship series last year. Knocked off Virginia, knocked off Bighorn. Would love to run it back again this year. I'm really relying on luck again though, so probably not going to happen.
I like the free agent signings.
Yeah,
I like the it's right in line with what San Antonio is doing, and I think that is keeping Oahu competitive here.
Well, I preach this all the time. Even if you're a shitty team that's not competing, like in this league, it's all about assets. So like if you sign these guys on 1-year deals, if I suck now, I have these 1-year contracts that I can trade away for trades or for draft picks. So it's kind of like you're kind of hedging your bet in either direction, right? If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, you're getting assets hopefully at the trade deadline if you're paying attention and being smart.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's next? Who was 5th place last year? I think it was the Sasquatches, but I'm not sure. It was.
Let me check this.
It was.
I'd like to see this.
Chris and the Squatches.
Yeah.
Honestly, this roster's been better than it's performed over the last few years. Chris has been a little disconnected from the game. He's admitted as much. Hopefully he's kind of reconnecting. But he's got talent. Just needs to maybe massage the team a little bit. It was the defense that fucked his team in 2024, I think, more so than the offense. Because he had the MVP in Matt Jacobs. Runner-up MVP. I thought Matt Jacobs was going to win the MVP. I thought it was hilarious that Quentin Cook beat him out by the AI. I mean, he led the league in 6 categories.
I'm just starting to hate Quentin Cook. I'm starting to disparage this guy. I don't like this guy anymore.
Maybe the voters were thinking about position because it's a first baseman versus like a guy playing center field. But what are your thoughts on the Sasquatches, JR?
Pitching's poor. 4.51 ERA in 24. So that's if Chris isn't logging in every once in a while or enough, and his pitching staff's gonna get hit up because when you look at the back end, there's talent. This team, if they're ahead, should win more games.
Maybe they will. I was going to say the back end is new, right? John Shepard came over from Las Vegas, Doug Hennig from New Orleans. So maybe he's trying to address the bullpen.
Well, yeah. So that's looking at that Furlong, Puertas, and Shepard back end. That's formidable. So if they're ahead after 8 innings, 7 innings, they should win a lot of games as long as those guys are healthy.
Yeah, I don't know if you have the recent file too, because Doug Hennig is placed in there too, who came in from New Orleans. He looks pretty good. He's got 2 nice pitches.
Yeah.
I like it. You're right. The rotation isn't anything special, but I feel like most rotations in the big league right now are not anything special. There's very few GMs who have top end talent in their rotation.
It's odd because we go through so many years of having these 80 potential starters, and these guys are like topping out at 65.
Yeah, it feels like the game's changed for sure. Like even Pablo Pena, if you saw that guy that you really liked, I mean, he's a 65 potential pitcher. Like what does an 80 look like if that guy has 4 blue pitches and the only thing he's lacking is control?
In the league anymore? I don't think Henton's obviously not an 80 anymore. So
yeah, I mean, who's the guy that keeps winning in? Who's won back-to-back Cy Youngs? Kansas City, right?
That kid. Yeah, he's nasty.
Let's take a look.
There's a couple nasty guys out there. But it's it's not a league filled with a
Rivera.
bunch of
Yeah.
big aces.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's easier to have an 80-80 hitter than an 80-80 pitcher for sure. Maybe like even like a
But
3 or 4 to 1 ratio. But
yeah.
um, anybody besides Matt Jacobs in this lineup that's like really exciting? Justin Hebert, his
Um,
catcher, looks like it's only his second season. We've got so many like 80 potential catchers in this league. It's crazy.
Catching's the strongest position of the TBL. It has to be.
Yeah.
It really just has to be.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy, Justin, I guess it's I want to say Bear.
Isn't this literally the name of the quarterback for the Chargers?
Well, his nickname is Coonskin, so it makes me think that he's like from like the Bayou.
He's from
So I
Rochester,
call him
New,
Bear.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, about whatever. His name is Bear, and his nickname is Coonskin. He's from the Bayou.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So I don't know, man. This guy's
He went to
he's a
LSU, I
good
guess,
player.
right? And then,
That's a good first round pick. That's how.
I was gonna say the
Catcher.
criticism on Chris because he was checked out. He drafted a catcher like 3 years in a row. So this is, I think, the first
really?
one.
Well, law of averages, and they're gonna.
Honestly, I think he's got great
OTP.
trade bait with that.
Yeah.
Like he's got. If you look at Jose Sanchez, I'll just bring him up real quick. I think this is the catcher of the. Maybe not because of the offense, but I love the defense on this guy.
Well, what do you want out of your catcher, right? So, this is a prototypical. This is like a Yadier Molina type guy. Back to ball, elite behind the plate. He's gonna make good contact. But, that's it. And the way catchers fall off, once they get to like age 20, whatever, 27, seems like they all fall off.
Yeah. Not in
Yeah,
this
I think
league. No.
well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was thinking H. Yeah.
That's a skill set that you want. That I think that is sustainable over those years, the early 30s.
Yeah. They do have a 2-year difference. The other catcher's 23. Jose Sanchez is 21. Jose Sanchez, he did spend the 1-1. This is a 1-1 pick right here. So hopefully.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. But
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully he has a plan to
I,
use it.
I really don't care about first rounders, so you can do whatever
You
you
don't.
want.
That's true. That's true.
If it's a player, it's a player.
Yeah.
That might be a player.
I mean, I think, personally, you've been a playoff team, so it makes sense that you don't care about your first rounder if it's in the late 20s or 30s. But if you have a top 5 pick, that could be a generational talent if a guy that like changes your franchise.
Yes.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this team? Anything else to talk about? Do you think they're a playoff team? Do you think they have a chance? I feel like again they have some strong positional players.
I'm sorry.
They have some strong positional players. Like if you look at the team position rankings, they have. I mean, they're not terrible like on paper.
Yeah. I don't know what their. See, this is a team that doesn't look like they play well in the field, and that doesn't mean just fielding the ball. That means they seem like a very just unfundamental bunch, and that's their downfall. And the pitching needs to be better. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just a team that I think just doesn't. It's not polished.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, just looking I've been clicking through these players. Like their starting shortstop, their starting shortstop looks like a third baseman. Like he would be an elite third baseman, but he just does not have the range for shortstop. I just feel like all their positions are kind of just a little off. Like the center fielder doesn't have an arm, and his range is questionable.
Stuff like that. Exactly.
And that was the same problem with this team last year. So like he's got some great bats. I mean, Zach Sheed should not be playing third base. You should have your shortstop playing third base and go find like a shitty hitter who plays really good shortstop.
So that stuff bleeds into your style of play, right? And so, it doesn't matter what level you've played on. You've been behind a pitcher that couldn't throw strikes, and then in the field where a team couldn't field the ball, and it feels like you're out there forever, and it bleeds into a season. This is like that type of team where those type of things are happening.
Jason Martin looks like he should be in Double A, so like he should definitely be replacing this guy from a starting lineup. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I'm not going to get into what other teams should do, but having a 45 outfield range in this league is not going to. It's a fly ball league now. May not cut it.
for sure. Yep. Just a quick look at contracts page. Jacobs locked up for a couple years, worth it for sure. He's 28. He's a stud. Just won MVP or runner-up on MVP. Outside of that, I mean, he's kind of in a pretty tight situation next year. He's going to have a little free agent cap, and then in 2027 it all opens back up for him. He's got this guy Perez, this catcher, locked up for fucking. I mean, you need to dump this contract. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking on this one. Terrible catcher. And he's got two of the best catching prospects in the league coming up right now. So I can't explain this. I can't explain this signing last year.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I didn't know that the 3 first round catchers, like, that made me raise an eyebrow, and then I don't know.
I mean, Chris is loving the catchers right now, but fuck this guy right here.
How to think for catchers.
If he's like a competitive team at the trade deadline, I find a team that'll take this contract, unload it, and then it frees them up for a few years, like retention, whatever you got to give, like maybe give some assets for that, and then make a push and pull in a big guy. Chris is a little conservative at the trade deadline, though, so I'm not sure if he'll do something like that. I do like that he has Shepard locked up for a couple years, the other contract, so he's got one good one and one bad one.
And there's room next year. There's 175's kind of bloated for this type of team this year. But like I said, they lightning in the bottle. All you do is have this lineup get hot for 3 months and have this bullpen close down games, and they're gonna find their way to 85 wins in this conference.
If you look at his history real quick, he hasn't been in the postseason in a long time. 2016 was the last time. He's been kind of mixed results. He was one of the more successful franchises early, but it's been a while. And really, it's been a while since he's been even close to competing. Until the last few years, I guess I've been close, but he finished last place 4 straight years. So you would think you would have a good prospect base coming in. Yeah.
Like I said, if this lineup gets hot and this bullpen's good, he's destined for 79 wins.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair assessment. I think it's like a 500 team.
85's a little. Looking at the history, 85 was a little ambitious. Hasn't won 85. Last time he won that much. He won 86 in 2016.
One thing I'd love to see from him, if he's competitive this year, that's great. But if he's not, really get that development budget up. 10 million is the baseline. So if you're a team and you're not competing right now, you want to stay at least at 10 million. But I like to try to keep my development budget maxed. And then the scouting budget you can be a little more flexible with. Again, just my thoughts, but yeah.
That's why I thought 176 was a little bloated for a payroll.
Yeah, he's fifth in the league.
To work around. Yeah, that's very high.
Yeah,
and
for a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in 8 years.
It's tough.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
All right, on to the next one. Did we look at prospects? Let's just look at it real quick.
Yeah, let's see if there's some.
He's got some okay pieces. They're all pretty far away. It looks like none of them are going to be on the opening day roster. None in the top 500 except for Ramon. One rookie here, Ramon Gomez. But yeah, no, I feel like he, again, as an 8th place team a couple years in a row, a guy who's really been lucky in the draft. Like, he went from 16 to 6 this year. He's moved up a lot. I almost feel like I can't believe people haven't called me up for rigging this shit, because,
what?
He's just been super lucky, and I know him in real life. He's just, he's moved up, multiple times in the draft, where I've questioned, how he gets so fucking lucky. I'm
looking for the big time prospect here. I'm looking for that guy, and
it's not there. Jose Cancino, great hitter,
young.
can't play the outfield.
Yeah, seems very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yep. I mean, his first round pick Otto this year, he was busy. I mean, it was the holidays. I probably should have paused things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a certain level of how much you put in is how much you get out, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something where I may consider putting it on auto. You know, you go and and go get a Powerball ticket. You have the machine pick the numbers. Maybe put that draft on auto one time. See if it gets you a couple of those guys.
For sure. For sure, yeah. Or just, yeah, I mean, in terms of maintaining your team sometimes too, all it takes is log in, hit the auto reorg button, and move on if you're not super active at the time. But anyways, on to the next team. Chris will be back. Chris is obviously, let's just say this straight up. Chris has been an integral part of the league. This league would not be where it is today without Chris. We got to add all that because there have been many times where I had dial-up internet when I started this shit, and he had to cover and make this shit work. And there's been times where I haven't been available, and we've kept a really, really consistent schedule for the most part over the last few years of keeping this league running. And without Chris, none of that would happen. So, love to give him the props on the podcast.
It's awesome, and sometimes he just logs on and lets the music go and runs a sim, and that's great. That's it keeps the league running.
I do that too. Yeah,
much
for sure.
appreciated.
Yeah, sometimes it's not about the banter. So, yeah. Who's number 6 here, JR?
No idea.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Fire conference.
It's fair enough. I'm not sure I know, and this is my conference. So I'm gonna guess it was Vancouver.
Ooh.
And I'm wrong.
Right.
They were,
this is a great thing about.
I'm wrong. They were 8th last year. Let's go. Mexico City was 7th. So it looks
shredding.
like.
I'm sorry to the GMs that are in that area.
No, it's okay.
Mexico City, Vancouver, whatever.
We've got Phoenix. We've got Brendan up next.
All right.
Phoenix finished, and this is where we get really into painful territory because Phoenix was in 6th place, but they were 62 and 100. We had 3 100 lost teams last year in the Ruby. What are your thoughts on the Firebirds?
One of the inaugural draft winners was Phoenix. I always thought that they would have a superior drafting strategy because of it, even though there's no reason to always think that over the long run. And it's tough. They made the playoffs once in the last 20 seasons.
Yeah,
and that is very that's tough. Now I don't know. I don't know if it was on take 1 or take 2 of the beginning of this podcast where we're talking about loyalty of the fans, and just you're starting to get to the point where you're the teams that have poor loyalty and small markets are starting to fall off a little bit, and the teams that have the high loyalty and the big markets are starting to separate themselves, and it's really showing in the yearly budgets. I think Vancouver is a team that really needs to watch out for that.
Well, Phoenix, you mean, right?
Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I just brought up that screen, the team finances screen, and it actually shows all the fan loyalty. This is one of my favorite screens, if people don't know about this one. But it brings up all the fan loyalty and market sizes, and they are below average. It definitely has hurt them a little bit, so it's a little harder to, maintain momentum. But at the same time, I think they actually got a little advantage from the success they had early on, where that hasn't dipped as far as some franchises. You see, like, for example, Vancouver's poor right now. If we go over to the Ice Conference, we've got 3 poor franchises: Rochester, Montreal, and Carolina. And Carolina actually was as low as I don't even know what's below this, but it was below that.
There was a team, I think it was Carolina, that was pathetic.
Yes.
Year.
Actually, I'll fess up here on the podcast here. I made a small change to that. I'm going to make sure no one ever gets below poor. Mike inherited that situation. When I saw it was pathetic, I just bumped it up 1. So I made some manual changes as the commission. I probably should have told people, but at the same time, I don't think it's really fair for someone to have that
tough.
shitty of a situation. He's already disadvantaged, so
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
I appreciate
because poor
what
is
he's done.
poor. Poor is not good. Pathetic seems.
This hurts too. The market size
in
right?
a league like this is it's very tough.
Yeah. Yep. But at the same time, Brendan's an OG. He's been here all 25 years. He only has his own track record to blame. He's had a couple tough situations where he's made some trades and they haven't worked out. Like where he's traded away top assets and then kind of just missed the playoffs by a few games.
Yeah. I don't know
that
where
hurts.
he is. It's got to be tough to trade if you're in like whatever country he's in. But
I think I forget where he is.
It,
Brendan, if you're listening, let us know where you're at because we'd love to.
yeah, this is the second time we've brought this up. We'd like to know where you're at.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good team. It's I mean, not a good team.
It's a bad team. It's got some good pieces.
Bad team, good pieces. Jose Bautista looks like a beast. So
Jose Bautista, is this a prospect?
I don't know. He's a right fielder.
Hold on, let me find him. Oh yeah, okay. He's the number 117 prospect. He looks pretty good.
I think 117. That's crazy to me. This guy's a masher. Okay, this guy's gonna murder right-handed pitching, which is the name of the game in regular season TBL action. Is the meta, the amount of pitchers in this league is probably about 70% right-handed pitching. Yeah. This guy's gonna kill him. So I like this guy. He's a big eye, big gap to gap guy.
His splits are crazy though. If you look, like he does crush right-handed pitching, but you better bench him against lefties because he's not gonna make contact.
Yeah,
I mean he's not terrible, but he's huge difference.
Yeah, but he's an exciting player. I think if I were a Firebirds fan, I would be a big Bautista guy, and he's an asshole. So that's also that's exactly what a franchise like this needs: a kick in the butt by a guy that's just so good that he could just be an asshole. So that's the type of player that if I'm a Firebirds fan, I'd be a little fired up with that. But outside of that, ain't much else.
Pat Moore's been really good for this team. Outside of 2022, he just had a weird season right there. I don't know. I don't love this guy's stats, but he's a 8-time All-Star now. 5, 6, 7, 8-time All-Star. No, I'm bad at math. 7-time All-Star. 33 years old, end of the career, but he's still a 70 overall. If you care anything about ratings.
Oh, let's take a look at this guy here. So he's a DH. He can still play out. He's wrecked.
Who are we talking about? Moore still or?
Interesting numbers. That's the only reason I say this is an interesting resume when we talk about Hall of Fame.
Oh, he is wrecked.
He's going to get 300 home runs.
I mean, definitely not a Hall of Famer in my book.
No. But if he sneaks in
Hall of very good
productive years.
Hall of very good.
All right.
My opinion. I mean, have you ever heard of Pat Moore before this podcast?
No.
Exactly. Not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer.
That's my opinion. I mean, how can you be a Hall of Famer? I mean, the only one I'm going to say that's true about is Joe Smith because of his name. It's the only reason you've never heard of Joe Smith.
This guy,
vote that guy Hall of Fame.
7 All-Stars and 1,800 hits. I've never heard this guy in my life. Led the league in doubles twice.
Yep.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
It just shows we haven't done enough preseason podcasts over the last few years.
Yeah.
Because
we had a monster year in 2018, but I think the baseball was juiced in 2018. So.
Yep. Matt Lundqvist is a good rated center fielder. I don't know why. I really hate this guy's bars. He's 3rd according to team position rankings. But I feel like a 60 range outfielder is a problem. This is a corner guy. You need to find a better defender in outfield.
Yeah. That's where teams like this start having problems.
Look at the shortstop. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and the park's not huge but it's not small either. Um, Got to go get him at Firebird Field. So yeah, having a guy like that in center, um, I'm glad he's still normal injury proneness because I wouldn't want him at 29 playing center field either. So you know, he's an interesting player. He's an interesting piece for some trade to go to a contender at the trade deadline. If I saw Matt Lindquist in the lineup, wouldn't be too happy. Guy makes a lot of contact and
Durable.
he's gap to gap.
He's not durable, but he looks durable. He's playing 150 games a year.
Yeah. So
I think this is another situation where it's like guys are out of position in a couple places, and defense matters. Like people need to pay attention to defense if they want to be good. Like Juan Cantu is playing first base right now, and this guy, he can't be in the field anywhere. He can't be in the field anywhere. He's just terrible. He should be the DH, and then make Pat Moore your first baseman. He's got a 75 potential at first base, and he's playing DH. Why are these two guys not switched? Like that's just a basic thing. So hey, you got till tomorrow to make this change. If you're listening, I'm just saying like those are some basic things I'm looking at that like would improve your team.
Maybe
I don't want to help a division rival, but like
it's actually tomorrow where he's at.
It's true. It's true. I don't want to help a division rival, but I actually root for Brendan because he's been here forever, and I wanted to see his team succeed. Yeah. So I would say that's a big problem, like playing guys out of position, and he's drafted really poorly over the last few years, and I don't know why that is. Yeah. I want to share this screen with everybody. I don't know if you know this, but if you go to draft list, and then you're not going to be able to see it right now, but there's like a button here, and it's like ask scout for their advice, and then it literally gives you a list of like all the guys your scout thinks are really good. Some people I'm sure know about it, some people maybe don't, but it it's not always right, but it gives you a much better basis of like if you're getting a highly ranked prospect or if you're just like shooting in the wind and just completely guessing, and then you might strike out and get like a sixth round, a round 1.6 pick that's like not even a top 100 prospect. So just throwing it out there. Make sure you're checking that before you're making a draft pick. Any last thoughts on Phoenix?
Not much to like about Phoenix. No pitching.
Yep.
It's tough there.
Not a lot of contract problems. That's good.
Don't have to pay anybody. That's nobody is worth the money except for Moore.
He's got $3 million left. It's not a lot, but I hope he looks to trade Pat Moore at the deadline because I'm sure he can get something for him.
Ethan Pauly is a guy who'll give a team 200 innings. I would look to move
for sure.
Ethan Pauly today.
This is a super strong asset. He's 33.
2 years left. Not horrible at 23 too.
It's only going to go to a half the teams in the league, but he's got 10-5 rates. It's crazy.
It's a guy I'd look at. Reliable. I don't know.
Agreed with the caliber of pitching in this league. I think this is a top end guy. I really love stamina and hold runners.
So. Yeah, like this guy's you need a starter. You want to go get a starter. This is a guy who fits a lot. He checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, and just to steal your phrase, I'm gonna coin that now. Fake fragile. Like, and this guy's been fine.
Yeah.
All right. Look at the prospects real quick and then just move on. Prospects. I mean, he's got some top guys here. Both of them 40 overall, so they're developing both on the pitching end. Wow. Nathan Dickerson. Look at this guy. Oh my God.
Good look here.
This might be the best prospect I've seen. Bars wise. I would love it if you threw him in the dev lab and got the stamina going a little bit, but from OSA's perspective, this guy is sexy.
This is a guy I wouldn't even worry about the stamina. Actually, I would, if he wants to throw 4 innings, doing whatever he can do, feel free. But this is the dream here. Over the top, plus velocity potential. That's a pretty big prospect. Now,
He's got no injury history for the most part.
yeah, but he's 19.
Sure.
And size does play in this game. 6 foot 180. Big velocity guy. You gotta watch out for those guys in the low minors. He hasn't really pitched many innings, but I don't know. He's so far away. That's a fake.
You think
I
so?
don't- What's the my scout? I'm not gonna say what my scout has for his overall potential, but I think that's like it's a construct, right? I think it's a fake overall potential for this guy.
One of the big changes of Out of the Park 25 that I've still struggled to kind of figure out is the way they've changed overall, because all these guys used to come out as 20, and if you ever saw a guy that was like a 35, you're like, oh, that guy's like on his way, and you would draft that guy. But now they have like so many guys who are like partially on the way. You have to really kind of take these stats with a grain of salt a bit more.
Yeah, yeah, you really do. You know I think it's that's the fog of war, right? So, I've seen so many guys who are like 45 just get everyday at bats, and then they're like 65s.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid too. Pablo Pena, that prospecting pitcher on my team, was out for 11 months with an injury, and he like got 20 overall rating while he was like injured. It's like I don't really understand how that works, but okay.
Steroids. It's gotta
It's
be.
a good explanation. Yeah.
That'd be awesome if they allowed online fictional leagues to have steroids.
Yeah, in the dev lab.
Yeah. I mean, some of that stuff's gotta be close to it. Like, I don't know how detrimental
Cream in the clear.
all this. Yeah, like I'm getting detrimental training. These guys are just more like injury prone or whatever because they had a bad. What were they doing during the training? Were they throwing the weights around? What was going on?
All right, team number 7, Mexico City. Larry Link.
Yeah. Larry had a great podcast.
Larry did have a great podcast. I was super confident in his skills. He's built the pitching well. He's neglected the offense.
Larry has a Hall of Fame museum. He's building a nice place for the fans to go and look at like the plaques of Ricky Guzman and maybe Andre Crawford, depending on how he feels about Fort Collins. Maybe him as well.
Crawford's future Hall of Famer for sure.
I've never seen. All right, I don't want to kill Larry, but I've never seen somebody jack another player's legacy from another franchise as bad as Andre Crawford.
It was amazing. I mean, Crawford was great as a Rooster, and then he went next level, Mexico City. I honestly think. Let's look at these. I mean, let's look at these stats. They're about even in WAR between the two different places. But Mexico City, how many games here?
He's a better
About
luchador.
18 less games. It's pretty even, candidly.
It's even. But it's something an expansion franchise does. And
Yeah.
that's part of what goes on here in Mexico City. And I actually, this is one of my favorite teams to look at because it's all defense.
Yes.
Like, some of these guys, there's a guy on this team, I think it's, who is it? Denver brought him up. Jay was an a-hole. He brought him up. He's got like a negative like 12 WAR. All right, I forget who it was, but these guys can't hit. They can field, but they can't hit.
Honestly, I don't even know if they can field. I don't know if I like the defense on the team. I'm looking through it right now. I mean, their center fielder has no range. Their shortstop has no range and can't turn a double play. He's a shortstop. He's got to be able to turn the double play. He's 50.
Hold on.
He's got 45
Is
arm.
this kid Valenzuela not playing shortstop anymore?
Valenzuela.
So, one of the most.
Oh, you know what? Mexico City might not have. Mexico City didn't export, so I'm looking at some bad shit. So never mind.
All right, so he's got a kid Lorenzo Valenzuela, who he's not a prospect anymore.
Okay, yeah, that's some sexy defense.
He's probably the best fielding shortstop in the TBL.
Yeah, let's take a look at these feet. Yeah, no, he's been great. You're right. Yep.
So.
Yep, I do see that.
But, he's there for the luchadors to put his gold gloves in a museum for the fans to show up and look at, because it's there's a lot of guys who get cool achievements on this team, but the team can't hit, and it's a shame because the team sure as hell can pitch.
I mean, he really does have the pitching to be a super competitive team. If he could bring in just a couple bats.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got dominant pitching.
That's all he needs for this team. A couple bats, and I would go buy a bat.
Same.
Why waste Andre Crawford's career?
He's not the only pitcher of the year on this team. Look at Santiago's ace right now. Guy's 27. He just won pitcher of the year 2022.
You hear how people talk about this guy, Paul Skeens, and how he wants to get the hell out of Pittsburgh?
This is Pittsburgh.
This is the same thing happening in Mexico City.
Yep.
All right? So go get some bats, all right? You're wasting these guys' careers. It's a shame.
I mean, Wally Gullidge. Let's look at this guy. He's 26 years old. He's going to be in his third season. He looks like he is a pitcher of the year candidate. He's led the league in Ks per 9 the last 2 years, and he's like a forgotten
pitcher.
Yeah, he's a forgotten guy on this team.
Yeah.
It's really 3 deep. They've got 3 super good aces. I mean, these guys would be aces on any team we've looked at.
We're not going to go crazy.
Crawford on the back
end, but these guys are 500 pitchers. Just as far as their decisions, and that's the hitting. That's all it is. Let the guys pitch. Let the guys, get outs, soft outs, and and let them put the ball in play the right way. And you don't have to go crazy with the fielding. Get some bats.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Mexico City doesn't have any money available, and this is tough, right? They're an expansion team. We gotta acknowledge that it's a tougher build. 22nd in payroll right now, so they're not even in the top half. Money committed to scouting and development, and they've got nothing to spend right now. So they've got Santiago locked up, which makes sense. He's pitcher of the year, and they're probably not going to be able to re-sign him after 2 years unless they invest most of their payroll. Crawford, end of the career, is in a contract that gets cheaper and cheaper. That's not too bad. Yeah, Guzman's overpaid, unfortunately, which is really tough when you're a small market team, and that's what Mexico City is, as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah, that is tough. What's his budget at? He's at
117, 116 next year. Again, that's 22nd, but when you have no money, no money available. It's really tough here. I feel like maybe it does or maybe it doesn't go into these numbers, but if you drop a shitty contract, does it show up here? I feel like it doesn't. So I don't know if there's something else there going on.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna. My one Mexico City hot take is that they should have traded the 1 overall for Travis Eaton.
For a hitter like that, yeah.
Yeah.
A bold move like that might be what they need.
Yeah, I would have done that in a second. If I had all these pitchers in their pitching prime, because who knows when they're going to break down, I would go get a hitter like that and just try to bring the franchise out of the dark ages here.
Candidly, I might call up Dave Mitchell this year. This guy's only a 40-75. He's 22 years old. He's put up negative WAR in the minors, but I bet you if you dig into that, it's fielding stats related. I'm seriously.
Oh, man.
I don't know how to bring it up.
It's tough. I love it because I'm a stickler for fielding.
It's so important. Like it's like the most underrated part of the game. That like if you haven't been in online leagues for a long time, like if you're not paying attention to fielding, it's why you're sucking probably.
Yeah. And he went hard on these guys. Like this guy Dave Henson is a guy who is all bat and no glove. So I think the message has been heard in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Dave Mitchell's the same way. He's got 2 Daves, both of them all bat no glove. Like I mean, basically both DHs are first basemen. You got to kind of reposition them at this point as they're getting closer. So.
A lot of starting pitching. I don't know who he should trade, but I'm pretty sure he should probably trade uh, a starting pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, he candidly, some people have really given away pieces for far too cheap in the past few years. If you have a guy like Santiago, this guy is like two draft classes, like 1-2-3, 1-2-3. You don't think so?
No. Yeah, I wouldn't trade either of those two guys.
You think you got to say, do you think Mexico City's competing in the next few years? Like, if you don't, then go get
they would have made a deal like to get Eaton.
You can do it.
Get a guy who's just out there who's waiting to win MVP.
We're on such
that dude Eaton. If you went to any team over there in that conference, he's winning the MVP.
He changes it for sure. It's like when San Diego brought in BJ Swartz a few years ago.
Yeah, he's winning the MVP over there.
100%.
That's the move that Mexico City needs to make.
It's too late though.
Yeah, it's too late. But
I'm the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I feel like he's got pieces where he ships those away and he gets like multiple draft classes, and then he's got like a setup like Rochester or Carolina where he's just like bringing in so many assets that like in 4 or 5 years he's gonna compete just because he has so many pieces coming up. But I don't know. Yeah. Like Wally Gullidge right now is still on the minor league contract. This guy could go for any contenders 1 through 5 twice. Yeah. And I would say it's a good deal for both teams. So. But again,
I mean, Larry talked to me about that.
I was gonna say, I think you're right. He's on the line. I'd
be in the market for a Wally Gullidge.
Same. I mean, I'm not even competing, but I'll take a 26-year-old like that. Like I feel like I got a vision around him.
I'm not saying no to whatever picks you say, bro.
Yeah.
But pretty, it's out there.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think you're right, though. Mexico City can kind of walk that line. They could go and be competitive with adding a bat. I think they could go and blow everything up and bring in a ton of assets. But he should make a decision because he's been pretty bad for a pretty long time now.
Yeah. It seems like a team that should be closer than their record shows. That's what the pieces look like. But once again, one of those lineups, they have 2 or 3 pitcher spots in there. Imagine that if you had a lineup with that type of hitting.
Yeah. It's been going the wrong direction too. 79, 77, 65, 62. So hopefully a reversal this year for I mean, I'm not saying that as the Wahoo GM. I'm saying that as the commissioner. As the commissioner, hopefully a reversal. As the Wahoo GM, I hope this team continues to suffer. Yeah.
Well, let's get Gullidge out of there. Let's start the Gullidge to Somerville campaign right now.
Perfect.
Is this tampering?
I don't think so. I mean, it's giving advice.
There you go.
We're in a very weird era in America, so I don't think tampering really exists. So
that is very true. That is very true. It's not tampering. It's just advice.
I know you were excited to talk about this team about 20 minutes ago, so we are now on to the 8th team, the Vancouver Vandals. What are your thoughts on Chris's team?
Was I excited?
I feel like you were. I don't know.
Well, it's the one thing that Vancouver annoys me with as a person that is franchise is about 5,000 miles away or whatever, and it doesn't even play in the same conference. Is that this is the one team that has no minor league system.
Oh, it drives me crazy every year, Chris. Every year I DM Chris and I'm just like, please just fucking make a basic effort in the minor leagues. To me, it bothers me the most because like he's not competitive right now. Like, how are you ever going to be competitive again if you don't have guys developing? You have nothing else to look at. Your team is terrible. Like, look at your minor leagues. So
the AAA team went 20-112.
Oh, we can bring this up. I don't mind shaming him a little bit on the podcast because it's the only way.
It's important to talk about it.
It's the only way.
All right, the AA team got better. They won 44 games last year. They won 13 in 2022. The problem with this is the reason why it annoys me. I'm not going to go through all of them. Is that There's a team that he had a high A team go 4-128 one year. Anyway, they screw up my guy's stats. So I'm looking at my minor leaguer, and I'm wondering why the hell he's hitting 360 with 45 home runs in single A. And then I see, he played Vancouver's team for a weekend.
Yeah.
Got shit-faced and hit 6 home runs. I'm like, so that stuff kind of, it does that's the one thing I'd like to see him kind of clean up is the minor league system.
Agreed. I mean, again, it matters. Like, if you want to be a good team down the stretch. I somehow can't figure out how to look that up on stream right now. It's like one of those things where you're like doing it in the moment, so it just like is a blank slate. But let's go back to his team. 2025 Vancouver Vandals. I think they're going to be pretty bad.
Yes.
Matt Sullivan, he did steal Matt Sullivan from the Chilis Picantes, which I love. Matt Sullivan looks like he might be a future Hall of Famer.
That was a good deal. I'm surprised more teams didn't get
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. I'd have given him 2. If I didn't have a shortstop, I would have easily given him 2 at 19 each.
This is what I've preached, though. Like, I mean, I don't think Vancouver's competitive. I love the 1 year deal because this is an asset at the trade deadline. Like, if Chris is active, Matt Sullivan should be going to another team for a high draft pick.
Yeah, and he's a consistent performer. So that's a great move. Good job, Vancouver, with that one. And those types of moves can propel you to a surprising year. Good luck re-signing the guy, but that's one of the better moves that we're going to probably talk about all night is the fact that they actually signed this guy to play shortstop.
Yeah, especially for that price. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 28 too. Like, if you have a nice year here, I mean, maybe it builds into something else. He's got $27 million on the books next year, which is crazy. Like, even his there's no guys going even to ARB for the most part. Like, I don't even know how he does that. It's crazy.
0 players on this team.
Yeah.
There would be a Senate hearing.
It's because all these guys came in. He had to sign all these guys as like minor league free agents because he had no minor leagues.
We would be talking about embezzling and all types of things going on with a TBL franchise that has a payroll of $70 million, whatever it is.
I am a little worried. I don't know if he's exported here yet. 28 to 28. Yeah. That's pretty scary. How many pitchers is on this team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 10 pitchers on his major league team out of 28 players.
Yeah. I want to see how. I got to see some spring training numbers. I want to see how many innings guys pitched in spring training. But this is tough. I'm glad if he's logging in and this is the way I want to enjoy OOTP. Is log in and just throw 10 pitches out there and see what happens and just move on with my life. Because the Vandals are definitely they gotta do everything to their roster. This is a tough team to look at right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he inherited a pretty good situation. He had a lot of really big superstars. Probably got taken advantage of a little in the trade market. Like, I feel like he shipped away some celebrity pieces for not a great return. Hey, that's a learning experience, I think, right? Dealing with other people. But I don't know. Again, this is an effort situation. Like, Chris needs to pay attention to his minor leagues. And if he puts in like a serious effort to his minor leagues for 2 or 3 years, he can rebound. I would even say he needs to pay attention to his major leagues, because if you're really going into tomorrow with 10 pitchers, I got to question if you're even looking at what you're doing right now. So, but at the end of the day, if he's happy with his situation and he wants to keep running it as is, I'm not going to argue. Especially as another GM in the Ruby League.
Sorry.
Ruby division.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, good.
He's got a guy, Marshall Thompson, who pitched in spring training to a 1-6 record with 1 save and a 6 ERA and 40 innings.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, it's tough.
I mean, I feel like a 4-man rotation is what you see in the playoffs.
Well,
and this team hasn't been in the playoffs in a long time, so I'm not sure why he's
Yeah.
running a 4-man rotation in spring training. So
Yeah.
a lot of criticisms for Chris, a lot of things to think about, I think.
Well, it's like yeah, it's an interesting. Were they last year?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, his team has finally hit the bottom of the barrel here in the TBL. So eighth place last year. They've been seventh or eighth the last 3 years, and really haven't been competitive since 2018 when they were winning the division in 2017 and 2018. So, I don't know what the plan is. Hopefully, he can
Yeah.
make one and get back in the running, or maybe he's the next team to make, a 20-year playoff drought happen.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's the Ruby. It's been a pretty long.
Yeah. That's been a lot. That's been
Yeah.
a long.
Yeah. So why don't we give it a quick
Time.
pause? JR, I'll talk with you. See if we want to keep going or.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
we'll knock out. I mean, we could because it doesn't need to be opening day for everybody.
for sure. I don't think I'm gonna run the sim until tomorrow night, so I'm gonna still ask everybody to
Yeah.
export by noon. But if you want to get on tomorrow and do the other conference
Yeah,
or
we could do it
something.
tomorrow as well. But if you want to finish up the fire,
Yeah,
so
I'm
I can
down.
put this
Topaz.
dog shit conference in my rearview mirror tonight.
It's not an unfair assessment with the way the predictions are playing out. So why don't we give it a 2 or 3 minute break?
Yeah.
Grab drinks, stuff like that, and then we'll pick up with the Topaz.
All right.
Why don't we rank them? This is actually a tradition. Why don't we rank the Ruby?
Oh. Yeah.
Why don't you start? Where do you think this is going to land?
The number one team is going to be the Chili Picantes. 2, Bighorn. 3. Let me change that. I'm sorry. 2, San Diego. 3, Bighorn.
Hold on, I got to write this down. Sorry, I usually
Okay.
do. So number one's what?
San Antonio.
Okay. Yep. 2 San Diego, 3 Bighorn.
2, San Diego. 3's Bighorn.
Okay.
4, Oahu. 5. Wow, let's do a little surprise here. Let's do a little 5. Let's give it to who just signed that short? Nah, I can't give it to Vancouver. 5. 5 Mexico City. Let's give 5 Mexico City.
All right.
6 Phoenix. No. 6 Spokane. 7 Phoenix. 8 Vancouver.
All right. Great. I think I'm gonna go with. I like your order. I like San Antonio. I like San Diego. I like Bighorn. I like those 3. I think I have Spokane 4th. I'm gonna go with Oahu 5th, Mexico City 6, Phoenix 7, and Vancouver 8.
And as a disclaimer, I hate my Spokane pick.
Fair enough.
But no, I think they could be good. I think they have a chance to do something.
Again, it's a toss-up team, I think. So, all right, we'll give it 2 or 3 minutes, or probably more like 5 minutes. I don't know
All right.
why I'm
Yep.
shorting.
Sounds good.
We'll be back. All right, we are back. Let's go on to the Topaz. Bring up the screen.
Yeah, the Topaz.
The Topaz. Talk about underwhelming division for the last few years. Says the guy from Ruby.
Well, the Ruby, the Topaz, the top teams of the Topaz, I think are very good, but one of the teams has a challenge of, keeping their talent, even though they produce very good talent. But who was the number one team? Virginia?
I believe it was Virginia.
All right, yes.
Andrew's been a really good GM, like a sneaky good GM. Super consistent. Let's take a look at his history.
Yep.
14 playoff appearances. 5 straight years. 200 win seasons and a 98 win season mixed in, winning the division. I feel like the reason the Topaz hasn't had like a consistently strong person, like again, 100 wins, dipped, went up, dipped, went up. And I feel like Kansas City's kind of followed that same pattern. It's been really weird.
Well, they're committed. A lot of teams are committed to the tank, and Virginia is very efficient at the tank. So when they go down for 5 years or for 3 years or whatever it may be, they come back very strong for those next 4 years once those guys get to the show.
Yeah.
So
playoffs in chunks.
Yeah, you see that with them. So you got to wonder what else is going on. I think that the change of GMs is really causing these gaps. It seems that
Andrew's been here since like 2004, 2005.
He has been?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Whoops.
He's been quiet.
Rewind.
No, he's been quiet, but yeah, he's an an OG, but like let's take a look here.
Okay.
Manager list. I bet he's up here somewhere high.
I'm done.
Hyde unemployed, Hyde retired. And we've got Andrew, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 OGs, and then the 6 OGs. Andrew is the most wins in the league outside the 6, or he's the oldest GM in the league outside the 6 OGs.
Yeah. So apologies to the personalities of Andrew, because I don't know what the heck gets into you.
Well, he started as Grabster for a long time. I made him change to his real name. So.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. So he's had dueling personalities here.
Yeah. Okay. No. So, it's interesting to the duality of a TBL GM to tank those years, finish 5th, 7th, whatever it may be, and then just to bring your team back and just go through it over and over again. I don't know. It's an interesting franchise.
This has been a team. Steve made a comment in chat the other day that he's never had really any like high-end superstars. That's been the Virginia Rebels. I've never believed in a player on this team, and they've always had pretty good success. Like since day one, Andrew can probably tell you, I've like always shit on his team in these podcasts. I'm just like, this team's no good, and he always like, turns it into good results. So he's got a great center fielder. I love, again, defense. The offense isn't there, but he put up 6 WAR last year.
Yeah, this is a team that is built to
defense.
Play good baseball.
Yeah, defense.
Good pitching. You mentioned a center fielder. When you build up the middle with solid play, you're gonna be able to win a lot of games, and he won a ton of games last year. So, yeah, this is a team that looks fundamental. When we were talking about some of the teams at the bottom of the Ruby, they just had mismatched pieces. This team, the pieces make sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, no top end pitching, but no like no deficiencies either. Like everybody here is really good. Alan Crow looks like a maybe future superstar here. He's still kind of trying to find his form, but in terms of ratings, like if he builds into an 80-80, he was the 1-1 pick back in 2020. 6'8". You said size matters. That guy's pretty fucking big.
Yeah. This is his third year.
Yep.
Coming third
Yep.
year.
This might be the year. We got to watch him this year, I think.
Yeah, it needs to be now. This
Yep.
is his legacy or whatever his story is as 1-1, the first overall, is gonna probably be written. It's all about this year. So he's been okay. Young pitchers are gonna go through it. He's been solid though. He hasn't been spectacular, hasn't been bad, and you're expecting this guy to have a big year. Doesn't miss many bats at all, so he relies on the defense. But once again, good defense in Virginia.
Yeah, and then even his number 2 starter, Roger Snyder, is going to be hitting free agency soon. This guy might get a lot of money. He's locked up. Look at that, on a reasonable contract, team options. So
Yeah,
Andrew's
good
pretty
job
smart.
there.
Andrew's pretty smart with his money. This guy's look at the numbers, just career wise on this guy's ERA's never really been above 3.5. Puts in the innings outside of 2023.
Have no problem paying guys like this, even if they don't throw 215 innings or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Because you get quality innings. He's an extremely popular local guy, so the fans love him. He's worth every penny of this contract.
Yes.
Because if he doesn't pitch a full season, well, that's 16 million worth. It's 12 million worth. What he's giving
nothing.
you at least.
It's nothing compared to what he could give you.
Yeah. So he's outside. I like Snyder. I really like him. That's a good signing. That's a good contract.
Yep. And I totally agree. I definitely love this. I do kind of worry about his salaries page. He's locked into a lot of contracts. He's another player, GM player or whatever, that uses a lot of team options. So it's definitely a strategy for some people. I think we saw that with Bighorn as well.
Not like this, but
not like this.
I used to do it.
Yep.
I used to do it, but not. It used to look like this. I don't know if the player loyalty changed on my side, and I was just getting sweetheart deals from some of these guys. But do this. Like, this is exactly what teams should be doing.
100%.
Team option is still out there to take advantage of. Hopefully, it doesn't get taken away now that I say that. But
yeah, for history, we took away the player option because you could offer like $40 million on the end, and then they would just like negotiate out of it and then re-sign for like $10 million, which is logically just so dumb. But the team option, you can still kind of take advantage of this as a tool and really make some utilization.
They're signing them too. They don't have to sign them.
Yeah, this is
I've
proof.
Plenty of guys who said they will not take a team option.
Yep.
So it's cool to see because the budget is very manageable. The payroll, I should say, is very manageable.
Yeah. You want to talk about their first base signing? Jamie Founts.
Let's see. Yeah, bear with me here. I was just looking at their
Jamie Founts.
Yeah.
This guy's pretty good.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Is he? First ballot, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's a good signing.
Yeah. He's so good. Even last year he was a little off for New York. 127 games, probably missed some time for injury, I'm going to guess, without looking.
Well, he gets shortchanged. He doesn't get brought into camp instantly, or he doesn't get signed early enough.
Last year?
For how good he is. So I always think that, I don't know, it's very anecdotal. I think that if you sign guys in spring training or whatever, they're destined just to have slow starts and get injured or whatever. So
yeah, rust is a real thing. They talk about it's built into the game. So
yeah.
It's.
I think he signed in New York, right at the beginning of the season. I think the season started already, and Virginia brought him in a little earlier, so I think he'll have a big. I think he could have a big year there. Guys like this always perform better when they're around a good group of players. So that could happen for Davey Fonts.
Yeah, he's getting late in his career. He could definitely have a good season. I always think of Virginia as a pitcher's park for some reason, but they're pretty average, to be honest.
Yeah,
we looked at we looked at Mexico City, I think it was. I just want to see that again. I'm not going to remember which one it was. There was someone that was like really surprised me how much of a pitcher's park it was back in the Ruby. But all right, let's take a look at their prospects. We didn't look at the contract page, but I wanted to show this to you. Oh, we did look at this. A lot of team options, but a lot of money committed if you're not opting out of these. So even if you take the 10, 20, it's quite a bit, 37 million, you're still up in the 120, 130 million committed range. So
you can take those and be good.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem.
Well, what's big here is he's got huge fan interest. He's got a good market size and fan loyalty.
Yeah.
Because he's had success, so he's got like one of the higher budgets in the league.
You got to be careful with some of these guys. If you opt out or if you decline an option on somebody who's a solid player just because they had a bad year or something, that's the fans don't like that, and you don't want to let guys walk because of that. But I like the payroll here. This is a good structure. I don't mind it.
Looking at their top 500 prospect list, Danny Meza, right fielder, is on the starting roster. Number 162, Manny Jimenez, also on the starting roster. Second baseman. I actually don't like this guy much with the defense. So maybe if they're competitive at the deadline, they're looking to upgrade that position. Second base is pretty easy to upgrade here. I don't think Andrew's been super competitive at the deadline, but I might be making that up, so I don't want to say that.
I think that he'll let Manny Jimenez play second base.
Hopefully not. He's in the lineup right now. Again, I don't know if people are going to make changes before, but I did pull opening day lineups for who submitted them. Let me go back to that real quick.
I don't know.
Right now he's hitting fifth. He's playing second, so. Any last thoughts here?
All right. I like David Green as a everyday TBL player.
David Green.
There's not a. I'm trying to see if there's any. I like looking at players in the 200s just to see if there's a guy like, for instance, he's got a guy at 218, Clyde Howell, who looks like he's a TBL starter right now. So, guys like that. Oh, he's a Rule 5 draft pick. Yeah. Virginia kills it with Rule 5s. They do a very good job with Rule 5 picks.
Yeah, they usually have a pretty good size list.
Yeah, great team.
Very underutilized part of the TBL as well, as a lot of GMs don't. I will say this year was actually the most active Rule 5 I think I've commissioned over. But yeah, Virginia. That's Virginia. On to Brad and the Kansas City Scouts. Brad has done a great job. I feel like New York has done really well. The Empire. And this team in terms of our expansion teams. And Rochester now, obviously.
I think he gets too much. He has too much talent coming up for his budget. So there's a lot of guys that he's bringing up that are leaving Kansas City that are very, very good players, and he has to make decisions on certain other guys.
Yep.
He's still good.
He's over budget right now, so he's going to be whacked a little bit in the scouting budget on opening day. But in terms of salaries, he's paying Brad Wilson, and it makes complete sense. I mean, actually, I don't know if it makes complete sense. It makes sense for the next few years, but he might hurt on the back end of this contract. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, 40 is a lot for anybody. 48, whatever.
$200 million over 5. I mean, it's.
I was looking at Vegas has got what's his name Laredo over there. The guy makes $48 million. I'm like, there's got to be a certain point where it's too much money. I think that you just can't be that good to make.
Well, I'm curious who might have been bidding him up for this, or if he was just like he just wanted to lock it up before anybody else had a chance. You know.
Yeah, that's a lot of money though.
Personally, maybe just because his name is Brad and the starting pitcher's name is Brad, he just wanted to invest. You know.
The numbers are they're as good as we've seen. As
Yes.
far as
He was second in pitcher of the year last year. I should mention.
and
The person who beat him out was his teammate Arturo Rivera.
yeah, over 200 strikeouts, 200 innings, last 4 years. That is worth its weight in gold.
100%. Yeah. It's not durable, but he should be. I mean, he's pitching,
Yeah.
like you said, crazy innings.
So, if you're telling me he's going to give you the same production, fine, all right. But it's still a lot of money.
This is another reason I just want to turn injury ratings back off because, like, this guy should be durable. This dude's been injured for 10 days in his career, and he's a top-end starting pitcher, and he's listed as normal, not durable.
Yeah,
That's as durable as it gets.
it really is. I mean, same thing for Arturo Rivera when you see his injury history.
Yes. And decisions coming up, right? Because he's 13 million ARB next year, and then pay the man his money, as they would say.
That is very interesting. So if anybody who is not Brad is listening to this right now, we can talk a little hot stove with this guy Rivera here, because we've seen guys walk. He has the ability to sign them, but does he want to lock up 70 million into his number one and number two pitchers?
Let's look at the contracts because I feel like he's going to. I mean, by the time he needs to pay Rivera, it's going to be more like 80 million into these two guys.
Yeah, it's going to be 80 between.
Oh man, that is crazy. That is crazy. I don't know. We're gonna have to hear from Brad if he's listening to the podcast. What his plan is there, because that is going to be definitely a money crunch for an expansion team.
And I just got his closer in free agency, who was closed, saved 43 or I think it was 43 games for him last year. Brad, you don't have to let these guys just walk to Somerville for money.
He's got no money to spend as an expansion. 16th in budget, 9th in payroll.
The players are too good for his budget.
It's true. He's got some top end talent in his system that just all came up at a very similar time. I mean, I feel like Rivera's got to be the priority, though, right? Like,
I would think so. But
you think he walks in a few years?
Montreal, I think we talked about him, who had like a 6.5 WAR year, 6.5 WAR year, and then I just said I just got his closer, and when you can't sign guys, it's tough. You have to keep growing the budget. He's at 200 million. That's crazy to me.
Like as a mindset, my like GM style would best fit. Like I'm a Red Sox fan, so I think like as a big market team in a sense. But like some of these teams really need to be run like the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, where you're like flipping these high-end assets and continually bringing in talent because your budget's not there. And then maybe like I think the difference in our league though, like if you continue to do that for 5 or 10 years, you might become a big market team.
Without compensation picks, I would do it.
Right.
It's so tough. This game, and the TBL, I mentioned it in the chat, has a phenomenal financial system. I think Major League Baseball is trying to get a system similar to what the TBL is actually doing, if you listen to what's going on there. But it's something where you gotta, it's still the engine of the game of OTP. It's built around Major League Baseball fans and how, they react to free agent signings and all the other BS. So you gotta kind of have that big market mentality sometimes too when signing guys. So I don't know. Brad Wilson. It's interesting. Brad Wilson. That's a very the Brad Wilson contract is going to look very interesting
I
coming
don't.
down the road.
I like Brad Wilson. I feel like I don't like the contract just because, and you've kind of highlighted it here, he has so much talent coming up. It's going to be so hard to make decisions with 40 million on the books 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now.
Exactly. And I would want to have had Arturo Rivera locked up before I had Wilson locked up.
The only thing I will say, though, too, like, benefit of our league, 50% retention. I think there's some pretty crazy GMs in this league. Like, if Brad Wilson's still delivering, you could flip that for 50% retention and maybe get out of a lot of that and have more flexibility if you get to that point.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know.
But
He's. Oh, go ahead.
it's a good no, it's a good team. It's so as far as the present is bright, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all about. I think Andy McGuigan's going to carry this offense in the middle again. Hopefully he keeps on doing it, and he's looking for performances out of guys that are younger, and he's giving them some runway to be everyday players. And guys like Steve Schwartz at third base, he had a nice second base, or maybe third, had a nice rookie season last season. And a guy like Andy Porter, another guy, really had 1 year of at bat so far. These guys are going to go through maybe a sophomore slump, something else, who knows? But you got to see if these guys can be those cornerstones for your franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, looking at this team in total, I guess, I think they're one of the top teams in the Fire Conference. It's not even a question. They've got good starting pitching, maybe some of the best outside of Mexico City, but we've talked about the offense over there. Good bats, and the bullpen back end is tight. So you said you signed their closer, but they had two closers apparently, and that's why Dustin Potter looks ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Kansas.
But if he had a extra 20 million budget, he would be able to sign the guy.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, fan interest isn't terrible here, so if he keeps going, and he's got pretty well invested in his budgets, so I think he's in good shape. I think he's going to be the top team this year. I think he could compete for the championship, and yeah.
Prospects look all right here.
I was looking at that real quick. I was going to say he hasn't exported yet, so we haven't gotten a full look of what his opening day lineup might look like. But he's got some top end prospects, and 4 of the 8 in the top 500 are on the spring training roster. So
yeah, no, they look all right. I'm trying to see if there's anybody who really stands out here.
I mean, Schnakey or Sadler could be AAA. Yeah. Or if you really have a need, they could probably start TBL.
He seems to develop very good hitters and pitchers. Yeah.
I mean, I will say our expansion wasn't the most successful endeavor of the league, but Brad's done a good job. There's been a couple decent GMs who've come through, I want to say, this franchise, and he did a good job picking that up and really turning this into a powerhouse. So credit to him.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, he's good.
Next team up is the Huron Herons. Daniel taking over a iconic TBL franchise.
Yeah. And the old guard of the Huron fans, I think, are looking at they're looking at his job right now.
Hey, he's got a championship under his belt. He took over
Yeah,
in 2020.
he took
So,
over.
I mean,
He
he'd be under a
was
lot of pressure if he was just like a playoff team that year and then kept winning and then never made that championship win. But I think he took off a little pressure by by taking that championship.
I think his year last year was huge for the
Yes,
franchise.
taking a
That
step
he
back.
snuck in
Yeah. Yep.
with that team that he had last year after having such a bad year the year before.
A great
So,
second half run too.
yeah, that team could have tanked, and they got smoked in the playoffs.
Yep.
But I think that was huge for them to at least kind of just slow their budget from dwindling there because the fans are going to stop showing up in Huron if you're not careful.
For sure. Well, it's going to take a while, I think. I mean, 16 playoff appearances is the most we've seen of the teams we've reviewed so far, and 3 championships is the most we've seen of the teams we've reviewed so far. So, a strong history for Daniel to kind of have backed behind him here. And if you look at the market size, it's average, but fan loyalty is great. Fan interest is still pretty strong. So,
Exactly.
and he's doing the right thing. He's got 30 million in the scouting budget, 30 million in the development budget, which I love to see for a team that's really not like top tier.
Yes, but very aggressively ran in the past, and
Yes.
yeah, it's just a
Very different style.
very different style for Huron.
Yeah. No, totally agree with that. And that's fine. We'll see how that plays out. He has made some trades, which I feel like he's been kind of quietly active, and it's been kind of in both directions, which has been kind of interesting. So, playoffs 2 of the last 3 years, third place finishes behind really Virginia and Kansas City have been exchanging blows. What are your thoughts on this year's version here?
Very right-handed based lineup, right-handed rotation, right-handed back end of the bullpen. So don't love that. Who's the top player? I don't know. Is it Manny Pineda? I guess. So you're looking for a big performer. You're looking for somebody to do something here that is, I guess, out of the ordinary and break out, because I don't see a player that can carry them for a couple months with their bat, or a rotation that is not susceptible to a long losing streak every once in a while. It could happen. It could happen there. So that's the only thing about it. I don't know who the best player on this team is.
Yeah, it's an interesting observation because this has already always been a franchise with kind of like superstar talent at the top end, and you're right. No one here really has like that kind of superstar resume. I mean, Gregorio Prieto has had a pretty good run in terms of like playoff clutchness, but he's wrecked. He's playing first base, so you can't really rely on him as like a cornerstone piece of your franchise. So yeah, it's really tough to tell what this team is, but yeah, I think he's still kind of deep here. Let's see. He's got an okay system. A lot of young pieces. I want to feel.
Yeah, I think the first Huron DM, which it's funny how they still have the same name from that maniac. He did the whole inaugural draft by drafting teenagers and guys,
Yes.
big draft, big prospects.
Yes, I remember that.
And then another guy came in after that guy flamed out and then did the same thing, kind of, sort of. But he was crazy too. And I think that Huron, they ran for 15 to 20 years on those guys just stockpiling assets. And now it's time to restock. you got to restock this. You got to restock everything right now. It looks like now's the time.
Yep, I agree. I don't really know what to feel about this team. They're pretty mid. Maybe one of the most mid teams I've seen.
Yeah, I mean it's really considering that they made the playoffs last year. Yes, and yeah, another team that has a payroll below 100 million.
Which is a good thing. I mean, it is and it isn't. I mean, they've got a lot invested in their scouting and development, but means they have flexibility moving forward. But yeah, 16 million still out there. There's a lot of talent you could probably add to this team and make yourself a little more competitive if that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could definitely add a player. You mentioned his budgets are flush, right? 30 million in each. There's nothing else to spend the money on.
Just to act as who's out there in free agency real quick. Some good pieces again. Wrecked, fragile. You have to dig into that, see how real that is.
Yeah.
I suppose. So I guess the question though is like, do you invest in something like that on opening day, or do you dive into the international free agent pool where there's still, I mean, some decent future talent with that money?
Well, Heron, they went on the Heron. They went on a that 169 win season. He started selling off everybody. So
Yeah.
it's almost like you're now in between, right? You're building a bridge on land out into the middle of a lake, and we got to decide if it's going to actually get to land again, and not just be stuck in the middle of a lake, right? So I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, I think I got to say he's in full rebuild for the most part. Like his biggest contract here is a 50% retention on Montenegro. So,
yeah,
like when most of your payroll he's committed 83 million this year, like you said, like nothing under 100 million, and 21.6 million of that is retention. So he might be the lowest payroll team in the league.
yeah. So per dollar, he's doing a great job. But yeah, it's nice having. He's got great fan loyalty, and you want to keep it. So you can't have too many of these years.
Yeah, I think it's about, do you invest your money in the international amateur free agency? Do you go get like Joe Aristad at second base and then try to trade him off to a team like who did we see with the terrible second baseman, at the deadline for an over budget trade? There's some options available, but I don't think he's trying to beat out Virginia or Kansas City.
No, this is a team that if I were to GM, I would want to see the players play well enough to the point where they deserve that type of trade, where you can bring in a big player. But it may be a team that flames out. This is a very interesting. This team can go anywhere.
Yeah. Yep. Next up, Chuck and the Louisville Thoroughbreds. Been kind of a mid few seasons for Chuck. He made the playoffs 2 seasons ago, 81 and 81 last year. Kind of fell down the stretch. He was looking like he might sneak back in, but ended up not making it. Mainly because he probably had a tougher stretch in October compared to maybe his Ruby Division opponent in the Paddlers, playing 300 loss teams. What do you think of Chuck's team?
Good team with great, very good pitching. I was gonna say great pitching. A lot of it's on the way, and he's always had good pitching. He develops good pitching, so it'll be interesting to see a Ryan Wallace or a Jonathan Mendoza become what could be the conference's best rotation. Problem with that is that Wallace doesn't throw any innings yet, and he's pretty green. And then, Mendoza hasn't been to the major leagues yet. So, but it's when you add that to the good pitching he does have, I mean, these are pretty high-end prospects here. I think that the way he develops pitching, these guys they can comprise the best rotation in the conference in a couple seasons, not this season.
Yeah, I love both these guys. I love Mendoza here as a 10th round pick. Always great when you get that TCR and the development works out for you.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is Chuck's been a really solid GM since he's been here. He's been here for a long time. 13 playoff appearances. It's been sparse lately, but he's always had competitive teams. Like it's 70 wins minimum outside of 2022. Feels like he's always in the mix in the Topaz.
The top of this division has been brutal some years, especially when Oklahoma City was really good. And Milwaukee for that matter. So he's always been caught in like that wash.
Yes.
And this time it's Virginia and Kansas City. He's got a crack.
Yep.
One of those two teams to really solidify himself here.
He did sign
He could do it.
Chase Young Bay. This guy is a international signing. Looks like a pretty nice first baseman. Of course, he has one of the most famous international signings in league history in Park, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Gave him $80 million a year here, Bay, $80 million a year for 4 years. Team options there in the last 2 years. So if it doesn't work out, you can escape it. So I kind of like this contract. He's clearly a DH first baseman.
Yeah.
But
you hope he mashes. The lineup needs somebody to do that because the rest of it is very late hitting. So it needs a bopper. It needs somebody in the middle to really, put fear in the pitcher. There's too many. You don't fear anybody else in this lineup.
yeah, it's definitely not super heavy. There's some good defensive spots here, and then there's some defensive weaknesses as well. I think this is kind of, we mentioned this with someone else, I think maybe the Sasquatches, but it's a lineup with some good pieces, but a lineup with a lot of holes too.
Yeah. He has a premium on defense. That's a good part about it. And some of the guys don't really hit. I look at his last year's. I think it's got to be his Achilles heel here because everything else looks good just by the ratings. If I look at the ratings, and yeah, he was third to last in runs, but Mexico City, Durham, and then Louisville. So he needs somebody to hit.
Yep.
That's all he needs.
Yep. So maybe Bay is that difference maker here that puts him over the edge and makes him a playoff team this year. And again, the young starting pitching, if it boom or bust, right? It could be amazing, could be work in progress where it takes a couple of years. He's got the nice back end piece, Ed Pohl here. We should talk about Ed Pohl. 5 All-Star appearances. He's got a Reliever of the Year award, which of course means he'll get 6% of the vote in the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
People hate relievers. I'm gonna say it. We've got some Mariano Rivera's in our league, and people just don't even want to vote for them.
His ERA is very impressive, even though I don't care about ERA for relievers in the short run. Over the long run, 500 appearances or 500 innings pitched, 2.03 ERA is phenomenal. He needs to win.
Look at his Cape 9 in 500 innings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that he just hasn't been involved. I think for closers, you need to be involved in the big
Postseason.
moment in the postseason. And the guy's pitched in 2 postseasons.
Yeah.
And that's he pitched in one at 22 and one at 27.
He was great in this one though. 4 saves, a win, 7 appearances.
Yeah. He's got a. I don't know. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame guy yet.
Yeah, no, he's on the fringe for sure. He's got to keep being good, but he's still like an 80-80, so he probably will be. But again, so if we look at Louisville, a bad season here, A couple close seasons here where they're right on the fringe. And I feel like these were collapses. This was a collapse. They've had some tough Octobers. But otherwise, they've really been a pretty consistent team for a long time, but not a top-end team, just a consistent team.
Team that I would have, if I were them, that's another team that would have been perfect for Travis Eaton.
Yeah. It's hard to make that big move sometimes.
You got it. You signed this guy from wherever he's from.
Where did Eaton go? I forget. I'm not even thinking right now.
Yeah, and you give him $80 million over 4 years, a couple team options. That's not that far off from what Eaton is, and Eaton's 3 years younger, and he's definitely gonna hit better. So I don't know.
I hate that. I forgot until I just looked it up there. I hate that Eaton went into the division. I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah.
Again, as a Red Sox fan, I can't imagine trading a superstar to the Yankees.
Yeah, but at the same time, guys like Johnny Damon or whoever else,
that was free agent.
They made a change in free agency.
Yeah, I mean that's painful, but a trade.
Yeah.
Wasn't Eaton a trade? Yeah, Eaton's a trade.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that
personal grievance.
The TBL is weird because within the division, I don't think we really hate each other like that.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, Eaton's a generational talent. You're going to trade him to New York and then watch him be super successful for the next 4 or 5 years. I think if Kevin wasn't a GM that just joined and had the same personal attachment to Eaton, if you saw him going up through his system and then playing his first few years with him, that's a little tougher trade.
Yep.
I don't know. But, contracts, salaries.
Yeah.
Don't love it.
Don't mind it.
Don't mind it?
I don't mind it too much. A lot of team options. He doesn't owe anybody any money.
That's true. He works the team options.
All right. Well, let me see what he does with Ed Pohl first and foremost. I think you have to re-sign a guy like this.
29 years old. Yeah, I think you give him a few more years for sure.
Yeah, you give him whatever he wants, really, because one, he's still good, and then you don't have any other players after that. You have you got a couple guys, but he's by far your most talented player, and he's your closer, which is not good. But there's not huge money owed here. I don't like the Bay contract if he doesn't hit. I don't know if this guy can hit.
Yeah, it's going to be tough if he doesn't hit. Looks like he hits righties better than lefties, at least in the splits.
It's going to be really bad if he doesn't hit.
Yeah.
That's not...
I mean, I just don't like... And I do it all the time, but I don't like giving a lot of money to a first baseman because it's just not that important of a position. You can plug it sometimes. He's 30 years old, too, which is kind of tricky. Yeah. But again, it's 2-year commitment, so, I mean, not too worried. I am worried because he's got $143 million committed this year, $142 million next year. So what are you going to give Ed Pohl? I mean, he's not going to sign for less than 20.
Well, I'm not too familiar with his what's his budget at.
He's got $12 million available. He's
team,
pretty well invested in his scouting and development, which is great. He's got a great market size, great fan loyalty because he's been consistent.
So, I think a happy spot for him would be in the 165, 167 range, if he's comfortable with his budgets and he spends it on the right people. So, when you look at next year, you can sign Pohl and got a team option on this guy Fleshman, but he's not a big time player. You may want to keep him, you may not, but you may want to go just get another bat, a big one, not these little pea shooters.
Yeah.
But that's another team that just needs one bat, just one game changing bat.
Well, they might have another game-changing arm coming up soon. Well, we've talked about Jonathan Mendoza. Sorry, I just dipped into the prospect pipeline, but looks like he's on the roster. Number 37 prospect in baseball. So outside of that, no one super close. Juan Camacho is looking like he's coming along, but he hasn't played above A ball yet, and he's only 20 years old. Mike South might be close here. This guy might be a part of the equation soon. He's in AAA, but looks like he can play the outfield. Maybe hit a little bit.
Yeah, I think he needs another year in AAA, but I think he needs somebody to. A guy like this can do wonders if he puts it all together, and he can be a middle of the lineup piece.
Any last thoughts on Louisville?
Yeah, I mean this is the team that I'm gonna probably pick after what do you call it?
Virginia and
Virginia.
Casey.
So
Yeah.
I love their pitching. They just don't hit.
Yeah, I mean, they've been kind of that consistent 3-4 position team, so I think that's a pretty safe bet. Although I haven't looked at anybody else yet, so we'll see how that plays out. Number 5, St. Louis Steam.
Wow, they were 5.
Yep. They were pretty much GM-less all last year, but we've got a new GM taking over in Kevin, and he seems to at least understand the game a little bit. So we'll see what he can do with the Steam. I don't hate this team. I hate the situation they're in.
Yeah.
And it's this minus $42 million. Like, I told him he gets a buy on the rule where you like get taxed.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's such a bad salary situation because
for a while.
Yeah, because the two superstars, Domini and McCarthy's done this year.
Yeah,
but they kind of painted the old GM into the corner. I don't think that he had the ability to let them go to almost get to free agency and sign them. I think he had to sign them right away because the franchise, I don't know. St. Louis isn't exactly a destination, but he had to sign Dominic and McCarthy to insane deals, and they're both the worst contracts in the TBL right now. So you got to do something about it. You got to probably eat half the money on Dominic and get rid of him just to get some breathing room and get something back in return, because you can get something back in return from somebody like a Denver probably, or somebody who thinks that he is worth the $19.5 million if you retain half. So that's the first move I would make. The other thing that I would, or the other contract, Drew's the guy I would probably move as well, because
this guy can move.
his contract's ridiculous.
This guy can move, though. At 50% retention, someone will take this guy for $13 million a year for 4 years. I will pay you a lot of money for this guy.
Yeah,
this is the most valuable piece on the Steam right now, Shane Drew.
Very valuable, especially at 50% retention, and you can get your rebuild started with the Drew trade. The Dominic trade will be interesting because you'd have to find. I'm not saying you have to find a sucker. You got to find somebody who sees the value of whatever position, whether it be DH or whatever they want to put Dominic at. Drew can go right into a pressure situation right away on a big time team, and that is worth more on the trade market in this league. So I would trade him right away.
Well, also, any team that's up and coming and doesn't have that back end piece in place, this is their back end piece for the next 3 or 4 years if they're entering their window. Like, you can get top end draft trade value or even prospect value for, I feel like, a guy like Shane Drew.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of understanding the landscape of the TBL as a brand new manager. Yeah. Because
just don't trade with JR.
I don't think anybody, unless you sit here and you see like the trades that are made for the top players, you understand the actual market. because Major League Baseball doesn't let you trade draft picks, you know, like that or at all. Well, some they do, but you don't know what to trade them for. You really don't know what to trade. Probably, you probably don't know what to trade Shane Drew for.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, look back at the history a little bit. If you're unsure of something, DM a GM who's been friendly to you in the league. I don't know, like do anything you can to kind of like
Yeah,
double check your work, so to say. And
I think when I traded for Reyna, I gave him the trade that we've made the whole time. I'm not gonna try to, shortchange a guy who just came to the league. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna give you, this is your best player. I'll give you a fair return for that guy, and I'll do it based off of what we've done before. So you got to have trust in the other GM that they're gonna actually do that with you. But yeah, get rid of Drew. There's some. I mean, this is about purging. This is about getting rid of damn near everybody.
for sure, yeah, I think. I mean, candidly though, I think the only difference is, in opinion on where this team can go is Drew is movable. I don't know if these other pieces are. McCarthy's going to come off the books. I don't even think anybody's taking Dominic at 50% retention. So you might just be like in rebuild mode where you're shedding where you can, but you're just sucking it up for a year or two, and then hopefully drafting well.
Yeah, there's very few teams that I think should go into super tank mode where they just get rid of everything and almost, I don't want to say try to lose, but try to lose. And this is the number one team for that. The great thing about this league is that you can turn it around very quickly.
I'm surprised this isn't the oldest team in the league, just looking at the roster. You've got a lot of guys 29 through 33 in the superstar window. So, but yeah, Kevin, I think he's got opportunity here to make some things happen, but it's not going to be instant. It's going to be a minute.
And hopefully he's listening to this and he understands some of the dynamics, leagues, financials, stuff like that. Anyway,
again, I feel like the Topaz, we've added some strong GMs with Reese, and I think Kevin's been pretty sharp. So I think it's going to be, obviously Brad's done a great job. I think it's going to be pretty competitive in the next few years with some of these new faces.
Yeah, the Topaz is lapping the Ruby.
it's not you're not wrong.
No, I'm not.
Eric Ostreek is close. A minor league free agent signing. Can't play the field. He looks like he's a decent offensive piece here. Originally a 22nd round pick from the Huron Herons, but he made the Futures game last year.
It's an impressive pick. Interesting. 22nd round. Wow. This is a he's gonna have to find diamonds in the rough like that.
Yeah.
That's the first place I would look is minor league free agency if I were this team for anything. But yeah, you can't offer bonuses. You can't do much right now.
You should probably take a look at
Dig out of that hole.
Braden King, first round pick in 2020. It looks like he's going to be the ace this year. Going into his second full season, and he looks like the real deal. He is fragile, and it looks like, he wasn't injured at all last year, so.
Yeah, and he put up, 200 innings? So.
Might miss a couple weeks, but.
That's. How old is he?
23, so.
Yeah,
nice young piece.
I don't want to suggest what I would do or think about doing. But I would package him with the worst contract for a sizable return. And I think you can get that. I don't know who his worst is. Domney his worst contract.
I think so. Yeah.
So I'd take him and Domney and see if I can package them for a
Again, over
huge.
budget, you have to take this too. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, retaining on Domney.
I don't know. This guy's a lefty. I might hold on.
Yeah, you know what?
23.
It's for me. It's
He
just
might.
the
I was just gonna say he might fit into that next window pretty well because if he's what? Let's see, Domini here. I don't even see him on the. Oh, not Domini.
I'd be afraid Braden King doesn't get to the next window on my team if I'm St. Louis. For two reasons. One is he's fragile, whatever.
Mm,
I don't think that's the biggest reason. Two, I don't. What's he gonna sign for? What are you gonna sign this guy to? And if you don't sign him, he's not gonna stay. I mean, he's not. You can't let him get to free agency. You have to sign him to a ridiculous deal. This is the same thing Domney and the other guy did.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like when King hits then arbitration, let's see, he's 23, 24, 25. He's gonna be 26, right? So 5-year contract max in the TBL. He gets up to his 30, 31 years old if you give him the max deal. It's when the budget finally drops. He's owing like 170 million a year, which is outrageous. Down to 120 million, which is still not great. But at least all these guys are expiring on the first year of that deal. So if he turns out to be that piece, he's what you build around in 2029, 30, 31, which is feels like it's so far away.
I hope he stays in one piece. That's a huge jump in innings in 2024. He had 112 or 115 innings, 16 innings in 23, and he had 214 in 2024.
Yeah. He was good last year, though. It was great.
Yeah, that's not. I just don't think he can. I don't think guys can keep that up. Whenever I see that.
Yep. Fair. All right, let's take a look at his pipeline, and then let's look at the next team. Looks like Hernandez is going to make his rookie debut at first base. There's got a few other guys at the bottom of his top 500 list on the TBL roster. Actually, Frank looks like he's on the disabled list.
A lot of red for. My guy's injured. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is the hardest job in the TBL right now.
St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know if that's true. It's a hard job, but I mean, look at the market size, fan loyalty, and fan interest. Once you get through the money situation, you're primed to do a pretty decent rebuild. I mean, you got to, once the money frees up, put money into development, put money into scouting, but the fans are there, right?
Yeah. But I'm just talking about showing up to work every day.
Yeah, right now, yeah. I feel like if you're like the new coach of like a NFL team, you're there for 3 years and then you're going to get fired, then the next guy's going to like build on your success. That's like, you just got to endure and get through that painful period. And really, it's pretty amazing. The fan interest is so high here, given that they've made the playoffs only 7 times. It really speaks towards the history. We've talked about the 25-year history here. St. Louis has had like crazy, iconic players play in St. Louis. From Frank Danzig, the 1-1 overall, to a bunch of other 1-1 picks. So.
Yes. This is another one of those Hall of Fame museums.
Yes.
It's like Mexico City wants to build. They got that in St. Louis.
Never a complete team, but always great superstars.
That might be the reason for them. They're not a great historical team, and they have great fan interest, and it's a good market. They really don't win that much.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad job in a few years. On to number 6, Milwaukee. The Mobsters. Ryan's been working at this for a couple years now. He's been trying to turn this franchise around. He took it over at the very bottom. And he's done a pretty good job. He's been ravaged by injuries. He just mentioned that to me today in a DM, that he had a pretty rough third spring training sim. And he's got, 6 pitchers on the DL right now. Ooh, that one sucks.
Yeah. He's got a guy on his team for Francisco Ojeda, who is he led the league in the conference in strikeouts and walks.
How?
So
How did he lead the league in strikeouts? I see him in OSA as an ADI guy. Or did he just dev up like crazy this year?
He swings too hard.
I guess.
He's one of those guys who, you know what, if a pitch is in a certain zone, he's killing it. But every other zone, you know, he's either not swinging at it or swinging through it, or, you know, just watching it go by.
I don't understand that though. Like, okay, yeah, I just like I feel like ratings. What's the definition here? Doesn't it tell you? I is a measure of play discipline determining how many walks a player. Oh, walks. Okay.
Yeah, I think I works.
Avoid Ks. Avoid Ks. Avoid Ks is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think I think I works hand in hand with avoid Ks. So I mean that's plate discipline, right? So
yeah.
The avoid Ks. I'm trying to think of guys that have done this in Major League Baseball. I mean, the guys who do it are basically one-trick ponies. Like, they hit one pitch extremely hard out of the ballpark every time, and that's it. And then everything else they lay off of if it's not a strike, and then, you know, they try to hit everyone else too damn hard.
I think of Dan Ugla.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, he's an interesting player, and he makes a lot of money. $50 million. He's $50 million.
I like this guy a lot. It looks like he's almost captain material. I don't see it with OSA, but recognized as a natural leader.
Yeah, natural leader out of. He signed a 5-year, $160 million deal out of.
Do you see how it's structured here? He's got $50 million coming to him this year, and then $25 million over the next 3.
So. That's, you know what? That's the Hail Mary that we're asking for some of these teams. You know, go get that bat. This guy could turn into a guy who learns how to hit pitching better.
I'm actually,
and he tacks on a few more home runs, maybe 10, or does something, and then next thing you know, he has a monster year.
I'm actually going to call this one out, though, and I hope Ryan listens to the podcast, but I feel like this was a mistake here, right? Like, Francisco Ojeda's got 1 year of Major League service. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm mistaking here. Did he come in? He came in as an international free agent, not as a draftee.
He was a free agent.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm totally off here. So, no, this makes a lot of sense.
Oh, you think he re-signed him?
Yeah, no, I thought he gave him he was on a rookie contract, and he gave him a huge contract because he loved him or something, but I think it's just getting late, and I've had a bit too much whiskey.
No, I'm at that point too. But yeah, now that's this is a team that doesn't have any players that are gonna kill you or that you're worried about. And you sign a guy like that, and you hope it happens. So that's where he's at with him.
Yeah, I like this team. I think they could be a surprise kind of playoff contender.
I'm waiting to see what this GM is gonna bring as far as, you know, these first full classes. Well, I don't know. When did he take over? How many seasons ago?
I don't know. Let's take a look. So Ryan has about 474 games under his belt, so about 3 seasons now.
Okay, so you're gonna start seeing his prospects, his draft picks, all of his, you know, his talent come up, and you're gonna start seeing what.
Yeah, and he's got a deep system.
To the table.
He's done really well drafting and accumulating picks, making trades. He's got the number 4, the number 8, the number 10 prospect in the league. So he's got 3 of the top 10 prospects in the league. Chocked with talent. we look at the not that this is everything, but the minor league system rankings, he is the number 2 team in the league behind Baltimore, behind Steve, which I don't know how Steve continues to do that.
Well,
we'll get to him tomorrow.
That's $1 billion on. Well, yeah, we'll get into it.
IAFA, yeah.
IAFA, yeah. So,
which is a strategy we've seen work a couple times in this league, so I don't hate it.
You gotta see the guys pan out.
Yep.
But we'll talk about Steve's.
Yep. Which actually, no one's listening at this point, so late in the night, but call you out a little bit. You used to sign so many IAFAs, like in that one little sim between right at the end of the season. I changed the rules at one point, but you were very good at that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because I had money.
Yes, no, it was smart. But you were the only GM that was doing it early on, like when we had a bunch of inactive GMs. It's kind of funny.
They're still out there. They can be signed.
I haven't talked to you in like 20 seasons, so I just have to call you out now.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to remember if any of those guys were any good.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Zero idea.
Yeah. All right. Have we looked at the contracts here? I think we have. We haven't, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Look at this. Look at this structure. He's got 123 million in 2025. It dips next year, and then it's up to 120 in 2027, mainly from arbitration coming due. I think. Yeah.
That's. I don't know what to think about any of that.
Well, he said all his young guys are coming due at the same time, but he's got so many replacing them. I think all these guys are going to be hitting free agency, and we're going to have some good free agency in 2028, 2029.
Yeah. He needs to make sure that these pitchers stay healthy, and I think he'll be fine because this is all young, controllable pitching.
Yeah.
And that's always a good thing to have. Once again, an Ojeda or somebody else needs to pop, it'll be back in the mix.
Yeah, talking about pitching too, Matt Terrell, like a smart signing, free agent signing here just a couple weeks ago. This guy's been solid his whole career, maybe towards the end now at 34, but signing him for just 1 year and then 2 team options on the end. I think that's really genius.
One of the hard luck guys in TBL. I mean, he's a good pitcher, well under 500 in his TBL career because he pitched in Mexico City. So,
yeah. I hope Larry enjoys our ribbing. All good.
Yeah, no, he does. But it's a Mexico City pitcher, and if he's a guy who is very good. So that is one thing that Mexico City does well. Always a good signing when you bring in a guy like Terrell.
Went to LSU in the Bayou, actually.
Very cheap. Very cheap.
Yeah. And, just looking at the pipeline real quick. We already kind of looked at it, but again, top 25.
Yeah.
Top 524 players. So
I'll be honest on this one because I'm not a big OSA guy.
Yeah.
I don't think a third baseman with that much limitations on defense or in other places is the 4th best prospect in the PBL.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this guy could play third. I don't think he's the ideal third baseman, but I think if these offensive numbers fill in, then I think you can plug him in at third and get away with it. But you're right. Being the 4th best player, maybe not.
That power needs to be a true 65, 70. That's what has to happen because that's his carrying skill. And with a low K rate, I can see him being pretty good. He's done nothing on any level in the minor leagues as well. So that's the other thing.
Yep.
At 23,
I mean, the other worry is he's got Figueroa here. His second best player has been injured a lot.
Yeah. So
there's concerns.
These aren't the best prospects. I've seen a lot of prospects tonight. These are not the near the top. Para is not the 4th best prospect I've seen tonight.
I actually like his 3rd prospect, maybe the best so far. Myra, he's got a lot of good pitches. He's 21 years old, so he's a
Nothing.
little closer.
He's the best prospect by far, I think, of the top 10 guys. But another situation where the guy's getting smoked in AAA and AA, and yeah, I don't know if it's moving up too fast or whatever it may be, but you want to see some of these guys have success.
That is something I
20
actually.
in AAA.
That is something I might be concerned about, and that's one of the things I noticed right away. Who was it? Oh, he had a guy that pitched a little bit last year, and I was just like, man, he seems like he's up a little early.
Yeah,
But,
that's. I'm not gonna suggest that he does anything different because, but go ahead and if you believe in it, do it.
I've seen it
But
work both ways, honestly. So,
yeah,
yeah.
I had a team in my division who did it. Not with the same talent. Boston when he did it, he used to bring up some very middling, not bad, but middling young pitchers, and it ruined them.
Yep, yep. You definitely have to be patient at times, for sure. All right, on to Nashville.
Nashville/Denver. Sorry.
Nashville/Denver. Has Nashville
He made
done
a
some
trade
trading with Denver?
Yeah, he made a trade with Denver to give him like 18 million or something.
Oh, is that this
30
year?
million. Nashville sent 30 million for a first and a fourth rounder.
Yes, he did. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Bringing in those high draft picks isn't concerned about Denver's 4-peat, 5-peat, 6-peat. It's all about the future in Nashville. We're looking inward, not
Yeah.
outward.
Yeah.
Make Nashville great again.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I don't know if they're going to be any good. Matter of fact, they're not going to be any good.
yeah.
So,
Let's take a look at what they've got going on. We should talk about the history of Nashville, right?
yes.
Maybe the worst franchise in league history.
Probably
Close with the new Carolina. Used to be Boston.
The worst. Yeah, outside of that, Carolina it can't be Carolina. I guess the old Boston franchise for sure.
Mhm.
We just looked at somebody who was bad, and I think that they're worse. I forget who it was.
Well, Cody. It was Cody. And when we were really big on export rates and just being super active, he was always the outlier who wasn't active. But he always, every year I checked in with him and he was like, yeah, I really want to stay. I really want to keep working on the team. And I'm
Yeah.
totally cool with that. If someone wants to run their team, you run it however you want. So,
Yeah.
and it just
So-
wasn't good.
Yeah, exactly, and that's part of the fun of it is that you have different personalities and different variables that happen in our real lives that actually, affect decisions in the game.
I don't know what this
So-
guy did, but he was always on a plane traveling like internationally. Probably had a really cool job.
Yeah, he's probably negotiating peace treaties and signing TBL pitchers.
Right.
negotiating with
yeah.
with a pitcher in a text-based baseball game.
Yep. Yep.
but yeah, that's Nashville has no. There's nobody that really makes me excited. Maybe Franson, who was a number 1 pick overall. Once again, not tearing it up.
I don't know what
Not-
Kevin's vision is.
What's that?
I just don't know what Kevin's vision is for this team yet.
Yeah, that's
It's kind of been the history of the Blues.
very good comment because when we talk about these teams, the teams that just don't have any chance of winning have no identity, and that really separates them from the teams that are like plucky and they challenge, but they do have an identity. Like this national team has no identity to me.
Yeah, I mean, any team can get lucky and have a good season, but like, what's your focus with this team? Just like all these players are very average, And right now you might be in a rebuild mode. So if you look at the system, like what's the goal in the system? And if you look at it, I mean, he's got an okay system. He's got some good top end talent. Um, I don't know. I'd have to look at the trade block to see if he's been super active or if he's made any deals. But
I would trade this guy, David Jewell, immediately.
David Jewell,
his number one starter. Look at his 2023 numbers.
Interesting. Yeah. 22 losses.
And then we look at 24. He's like, all right, this is as good as it's probably going to get.
I like this guy. I mean, outside of the fragile tag, but again, not very realistic. He's kind of good last year. Has a bunch of pitches.
I like him a lot. He's cheap.
Yeah. I think you got to stand your ground, though. Again, if you're going to trade starting pitching in this league, ask for a decent return.
And that
sure. What do you think?
24 tells me that he should probably move him.
4 of his 5 starters here are lefties. Maybe that gives him a little advantage this year. I don't know.
It depends. I don't know how the conference plays towards lefties. Can't hurt. I don't think it hurts things. I always like having lefties in my rotation for that reason. Yeah, I think that this one of the hidden things, whatever ratings in this game, is the ability to give batters a different look through your rotation. Can you give different looks in your rotation as far as arm slots, pitches, whatever it may be, and it's always good to have lefties.
Yeah. I will say, looking at these lefties too, I just clicked into them all real quick. A lot of them have really good stamina, really good hold runners. So maybe control, I didn't notice that, but maybe the goal is to try to get to that back end of the bullpen. And then the back 3 guys aren't terrible. They're not like superstars like you see in some bullpens, but maybe it's just enough to like.
Problem in his rotation.
You think so?
Yes, there's one. If you look at 2 guys, Zach Green and Eddie Smith, and actually 3 guys. There's another guy, Alan Suko. These people are out to like end the franchise as a whole.
Why do you say that?
They're looking to tear the franchise apart. Like, you can't leave your wives around them. You can't do anything with these three jokers in your starting rotation. Especially when they pitch one day and then they have the other 4 days off the fuck off. You don't want these guys on your team.
Wait, where was this coming from? Just because their personalities? Are we talking about?
Horrible personalities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Zach Green unmotivated.
Zach
short
Green's
motivation,
horrible.
not too
And then
intelligent.
you can't get any worse.
You're right. These guys do like to fuck around and find out.
Yeah. This guy, Alan Suko, I can only imagine what the fans call him. He's got a high leader, but everything else is horrible. What is he doing in the locker room? Like, guys are following. What is he selling drugs in the locker room?
Team chemistry. We can cheat and look at this.
Alan Suko's personality mix is one of the craziest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's got some selfish players. He's got some unmotivated players. No one's disruptive. No one's dropped to that level yet. But
he's a leader in the clubhouse, but he's not loyal to the team. Is short on effort. Has intellectual limits. He doesn't tend to make many friends. So what's going on with this guy? He's a leader in the clubhouse?
That's actually also kind of on brand with the Nashville Blues.
Oh my goodness!
They've always had some real assholes playing for their team.
Yeah, just get rid of those guys now. Oh my goodness! That hurts my heart.
We'll take a look at contracts real quick. What's Kevin's situation here? He's got nothing locked up, which is great.
Yeah, another team below 100 million.
Chris Martinez is the only guy, and it looks like he just gave him the contract. Had a pretty good 2024. I'm not sure I love his contract, but I guess if you have nowhere else to put any of your money, yeah, he's not a bad guy to pay.
This is GM sentiment. It's a sentimental GM. This guy was the 2nd overall pick in the draft in 2016.
I don't think he's been here since.
He hasn't been? All right.
No sentimental there.
Never mind. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Kevin's pretty new.
That's an interesting contract to give the guy, just as far as the length. but he's a good player. He's not the problem in Nashville.
Kevin's been with us for 500, 640 games, so
Okay.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
But all right, prospects. Take a look, and then we are almost through the Fire Conference. I don't hate his system. He's got some good pieces here, I think. You tell me if I'm just looking at this with 2 a.m. eyes.
Is that what time it is? Wow. Yeah. Take a look here. So, Danny Ponce de Leon. I love the name. He has a frying pan in the field. He can't play a position, but he can hit.
I do love the name. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Daniel Franderson. A lot of high draft picks.
Yep, the 1-1 overall, Daniel Franson. Should have a list of all the 1-1s to see where they rank.
I'm not bullish on his top 3 guys. Franson I like.
I like Franson. I mean he's
Franson I like.
the perfect. Again, I don't like him at shortstop. Start trading him at third base right now, but
yeah, that's the thing about it. He's not a shortstop.
Yeah.
So
pay attention
what
to
is he
those
as a
things.
Third baseman. He's a nice hitter. You better hope that power and the gap show up.
I mean, I feel like he's a pretty similar profile to Ezreal Esparza, who I've had for a few years. Maybe not the same offensive bars, actually, but
Yeah.
I think a step below
But you
that.
want to see him start. You want to see him start raking. And that's another guy.
Yep.
Who came out. He instantly got promoted to AAA.
Yeah, I don't like that. Again, don't be tricked by the 2025 ratings. If you've played this game for a couple of years, like they're now showing guys at like 35, 40 overall. That doesn't mean they're like AA, AAA ready, which is what it meant like literally a version ago. It means they're still A+, A. Let them crank at that level, then promote them. You look at
guys.
Sorry,
you see guys. Like I said, just Vancouver's out there. You think that?
Yes, well, Vancouver doesn't even have a player in his minor league
for
system.
2 weeks. He has a 400 average. You're like, okay, let's bring him up a level. No, you gotta look at it.
I don't even know if it's that. Like, so 2024, you look here. Franson's played in 4 different levels here. Like that should never happen in one season.
The first overall pick, my scout has him at about. He should have been on high A, yeah, for about probably the whole season.
He was just drafted last year. I mean, he's played in 4 different levels. I guess if you want to fast track him that much, but like,
and he didn't play horribly in AAA. So
he's 23 too. He's about to be 24. He's actually kind of a late bloomer.
Yeah,
I'm changing my opinion mid argument here, but
yeah, he's in. Who knows? Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
he is old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of Nashville.
Yeah.
Kevin, I wish you good luck. I hope you turn this franchise around. OKC, it's our last team of the night.
Yes.
Reese, I will say I love the DSA report. Will it lead to a successful turnaround of this franchise?
Well, he does admit the DSA scouts are drinking.
That's true. Yes.
So, but, can't go crazy. Also, we haven't seen anything out of the DSA reports in a month.
Yeah, geez, come on, Reese. What's going on? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Any content is appreciated anytime you have time, and obviously it's Christmas.
But a team that had a rich history with the Kingston team. Now they haven't made the playoffs in 1, 2, 3, 4 years straight. 4 years running now. So, you gotta. This is. I'd want to build on. If I was them, I'd want to build on that success from those 17 playoff appearances and get back as soon as possible. Get back to those playoffs. Do not tank. Just get back to those playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Reese is in a great shape. One thing I don't really understand is why this. Well, again, above average market size, good loyalty. Those are things you can't sneeze at. Fan interest is at 77, I guess, after 4 straight losing seasons. That would make sense. But this is another team with like a really good base, where like if you can uh, do the rebuild properly, that fan base is there, and you're going to take off and be a top team in the TBL again. If we've looked at all the teams in the Fire Conference through tonight, it's funny that this is the last one that we're reviewing because they have more playoff appearances than any other team that we've looked at so far. They're
Exactly.
outside of championships historically the best, most consistent franchise in TBL history.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the Oklahoma City Outlaws franchise, um, as the Outlaws, is very bad.
Is it?
compared
Yeah.
to
When
the
did it switch? I mean, it switched a while ago, right?
It's been a while, but compared to the Kingston side of it,
All right. So let's see. Kingston was in 2000. I can tell you when the switch was. Let's see.
yeah, I don't even know if it does.
It does tell you. So 2011 was Kingston still.
11.
2012 was OKC.
Oh,
So-
all right. So they ain't too bad.
Yeah, they've had a good run.
Yeah, they've had a little run. They've had some run.
It's been the same story though. Like they've never been able to do anything in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they're a lot like my team. They're great at everyday things throughout the season, but just run into a bunch of different things and just never have gotten over the hump. It'll be fun to see what they have cooking up there. I want to see what this DSA stuff is all about. But so far, they're waiting on this guy Bickler, who is one of their big pitching prospects, and I don't know. That's about it. There's not much as far as huge talent. Brian Marlin is a 2-time MVP. So
Brian Lee is the number 3 prospect in baseball.
Now is he really 3?
He does look like the number 3. I would actually say he was the number 3. What do you think of this guy?
Let's take a look.
He was drafted in 2024 as the 5th overall pick. I think he looks better than Pablo Pena, who you thought was pretty good looking earlier tonight.
Yeah,
He's young. He's 19.
Yeah, this is such a young. I don't like the size. I'm a big believer in
Yeah. 5'11".
high velocity guys with that size being injury prone eventually. But he throws sidearm, so maybe there's less torque on the arm or whatever, and he doesn't have injury problems, but he throws hard. And I think it's kind of early for him, but he had a nice beginning at a pretty elevated level in low A. So 19 years old in that league, pitching to a 1.94 ERA, under 1 WHIP is very impressive.
Yeah, hopefully Reese is smart with him and treats him right and gets him up there to his full potential. He's got another interesting guy. He's a little further down his prospect list, but I want you to look at is Jason Tapley, number 224. No power, no eye, but makes contact all the time and plays defense. Kind of like a Bobby Ola, I would say, minus the eye.
Yeah, I love those type of guys. I got one on my team. So, they as the strikeout rate, as the K rate increases, these guys are important, especially when you get into late game or even postseason games.
Yeah.
And
durable.
It's
this guy too.
Can't. I have no problem with it's a great profile, I think, because I think it's enough center field, enough defense to play center field, and Yeah, if he doesn't strike out, he puts the ball in play, and he runs well, you can do a lot worse in center field.
To me, on a great team, he's definitely a left or right fielder. Like if you can
Yeah,
find a better center fielder, but you're right. I think he's fringe center field, um, and I I'm durable. I think this is a great piece to have coming up, and it kind of shows that like you said, it's not just about the top end of the rankings
I
here. Like
like
you can
him
find a mid
better.
guy that's like super
I like him
valuable
better than some top prospects we
for
look
sure,
at.
just because of what he does in his position and like how he fills in.
Yeah, he fills a role. A
Anytime you
lot of
see
the
the
guys that we look at, like I just forgot, we just looked at a prospect who was all bat and he couldn't play the field.
right,
You
yeah,
can't put that guy in the lineup unless he is by far your best DH. And by the time he gets to the major leagues, there's a good chance he's not your best DH. So
it is
what other roles is he gonna have?
it
Nothing.
is kind of funny this game can't come up with like a better formula to rank these guys, given that kind of
Yeah,
consideration.
yeah, yeah. But if you look at real prospect rankings in the major leagues, they're not that much different. They're not exact at all.
Yeah,
So I think that they want to do that on purpose. But yeah, I mean, this is a prime example of a guy who I'd rostered before a lot of other guys, just because I know what he's going to bring to the table, and I know what role he can fit. He could be a fourth outfielder, third outfielder, whatever. Uh, and he's not going to kill me anywhere.
yep, yep. So OKC, just looking real quick, has exported. Looks like they don't have someone in their 9 roster. So if they happen to listen to the podcast tomorrow before the sim, might want to update
Yeah.
your lineup. But outside of that, what are your thoughts on the 2025 roster and where this can go?
I'm trying to figure out if they're the worst team in this division. I can't see it. So that's the good news. I think they actually have a bit of talent starting to bubble up a little bit. Got a nice veteran at shortstop and Jorge Lopez, who's won a championship.
Yeah, he looks great, and he
Yeah, those are exactly the type of signings that
perfect.
legitimize
Yeah,
your
12
team
million
and
a year.
knows.
That's like the perfect price for this guy.
Yeah, and he does everything you're looking for at shortstop.
Yep.
So I I can't look at this team and say that they are the worst.
No, no, I think they're pretty well
Yeah,
constructed.
the pitching is bad.
Yes.
Miguel Parra is their top pitcher. You know, yeah,
Actually, this might be the worst pitching staff we've looked at. So when I said they're pretty well
yeah,
constructed, I meant the lineup. I really like.
yeah.
Um, Man, that pitching is really, really, really bad.
The pitching is really bad. Everybody seems to get injured on this team.
Let's take a look.
So I could see how they are the worst team in this division.
Yeah, I think they'll be competitively the worst team. With
I don't think they're worse. I mean, we're going to give our predictions. I don't think they're worse than Nashville.
All right, we'll see.
But
I don't know. I
that's
didn't
sort of
hate
what
Nashville
sort of
because of
what I
the
yeah,
rotation. Um,
maybe.
I do like to highlight Brian Marlin here. He's a 2-time MVP. I feel like he
Yes.
doesn't get spoken about enough in this league.
Two-time MVP.
Yeah, I mean he's been with OKC his whole career. He's put up crazy numbers, um, and it's just a shame this team has been really shallow around him because he's the kind of
Yeah.
guy that can carry a franchise.
Whoa. 49.6 million? Are you
Yes, that's the unfortunate part about Brian Marlin because if he wasn't making $50 million a year, he'd probably be a really great trade piece. But because of what he's making, even if you retain 50%, you got to give up 25 million. So it'd have to be an over budget trade right at the July deadline, and it would still really put someone in a pretty bad position in 2026 and 2027. So that's pretty rough.
contract's more untradeable than the Dominique contract with
Yeah.
half retention?
Yeah, yeah, just because of how big it is. I mean, look at Mark Fox
Crazy.
too on this team. Mark Fox
Yeah.
has taken a huge step back. He's still putting up pretty good numbers over the last few years. Led the league in strikeouts in 2021, 2022, so it kind of makes sense why he got paid. But now it's kind of dead money almost. So
Yeah, that's a bad contract too, but almost out of the woods on that one.
yep. I look at his last year. I wonder if he just like took a step back. Outside of ERA last year, like he still had a really nice like strikeout to walk ratio, a good whip.
Well, yeah, it looks like that he just got well. He went through a couple years where he didn't get hit hard. You know, when you look at the innings to hits allowed, but the strikeout also diminished. It looks like he started getting more hard hit balls in play, and on a bad team, they'll get you to 6-15 and a 4.48 ERA.
Yeah, I mean, also extreme fly ball pitcher, and he's
Yeah,
just been giving up more home runs year after year, so he's probably pretty cooked at this point.
yeah,
That
he's
was.
cooked.
Oh, go ahead.
No, he's cooked.
Yeah. Looked at the salaries again, 152, 152. So kind of in a shitty situation for the next 2 years. I think you're really just looking to get Brian Marlin off this team, continue to build this system, maybe sign some one-year deals to ship away for assets, and then maybe
just trade Marlin.
OKC's back in the picture. But
If he trades Marlin, I'll give him my first place vote for
GM of the year. Yeah,
But it could change the whole franchise depending on what you get, because the GM that's dumb enough to trade for him is a GM that's dumb enough to give up a bunch of picks for him too.
well, I'm sure.
Whatever.
I know quite a few people listen to this podcast, but I'm sure people listen to like
I'm
just
joking,
their
because he's a good
section.
player.
What's that?
He may be worth the money. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Oh
He
yeah.
may be worth the money.
Oh no, I don't think so. At this point,
Well, no, after half retention. After
Oh.
take half.
even then, it is a maybe to me. Like we'll see how his first half of the season goes, but that was a huge drop off last year.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Because
He
last year, but if
Look
he
at
was
this
coming off
season.
That 2023 year, you'd be like, maybe he is.
Yeah, look how much WAR he put up, and he did that in 117 games. That's like one of the better seasons we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we've reached the end. Prospect
Yes.
pipeline. I think
Yeah.
we did just kind of look at that real quick, but yeah, nothing too exciting. So, what are your thoughts, JR? Thank you for sticking around for
Yeah, no problem.
such
no
a
problem.
marathon. And what are your thoughts here on the Topaz? Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to run this one off?
I can go first. I got Kansas City 1, Virginia 2, Louisville 3, Milwaukee 4, Huron 5. Whoa. Did I do Louisville already? I must have.
Yep, you got them 3.
Did it? That's very good. I'm missing what?
You're missing Nashville, St. Louis, and
Okay.
OKC.
Wow. All right. So let's go with OKC, St. Louis, and then Nashville.
All right. Just to be different, I will take Virginia over KC. I also think Louisville's pretty good. I will take Milwaukee 4th, St. Louis 5th, Nashville 6th. Who am I missing? Oh, Huron 7th, OKC 8th. All right. Yeah, that's the Fire Conference. I think it's a pretty good breakdown. We've only been going for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it was a long one.
Appreciate your time. Again, if you want to do this tomorrow, I'm happy to reconnect. If not, that's okay. The Ice
When's
Conference.
the,
Who cares about any of those teams? Those teams all suck, right? So.
When's the
So you're gonna do noon for the export?
Noon is the export deadline, so GMs have until noon just in case I decide to just run it and call it a Sunday. But my partner works 12-hour shifts on Sundays, so happy to probably get on and just talk some TBL if I'm not watching the New York Giants. So.
Oh my goodness! All right. Hopefully we lose tomorrow.
Hey, I'm not optimistic. It seems like, well, we won't talk about it now, but it's been a good podcast. Thank you, JR, for joining, for staying so long.
Definitely.
I've had way too much whiskey. Thank God we're wrapping this up at this point.
It's been fun, as always.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and hopefully everybody else does too, and we will
Happy
see you
opening day.
tomorrow.
Let's go. Let's get it.